Welcome to Shardcast, the Brandon Sanderson podcast. We're a bunch of mega fans giving you the news discussion and, of course, a whole lot of opinions about Brandon's works and the Cosmere. I'm Eric, and joining me... Oh, what order are we in? Good God. Joining me is Evgeni. This is going great already.
Yeah, no, we are professionals. Hi. They call me Argent in several places in the world.
Also joining me is David. Oh, I need to not watch the stream. Oh my God, this is really trippy. This is super trippy.
Oh, it'll mess you up, man. Yeah, I am the only person that has ever gone by the username Windrunner on the internet.
Yes, the only one. The only one. Also, that's not Twitch's fault. That's David's internet.
It is.
Also joining us is Ben.
What up, guys? You know me as Overlord Jebus, and yeah, it's going. How nice is this? I'm like, this is so cool.
Look, we have a new overlay. Like it's kind of it's better now. We're better now. Also joining us is Joshua.
Hey, I'm jofwu, and I'm also really curious. Is there a way to pop out the chat on Twitch so I can do the chat without the?
I'm so glad people on the VOD will see all this. That's my favorite part, really.
Live tech support.
Yeah. But I think so. Probably.
Yeah, if you click the three dots and then there's just the options called pop out.
Awesome.
This is the Shardcast content you've always wanted of our pointless nonsense at the start. Yes, I spent way too long on the overlay with great help from Argent and Paleo and lots of people on design. So welcome to our new overlay. Also joining us is Marvin.
I am known as Paleo on several places at the internet. One of several Paleos, in fact.
You stole that from me.
Yeah. I wanted to say something different and went for that.
Yeah. And I'm Chaos, and now you can see our usernames on the video. How great is that? That is totally here. Now, everyone, the VODs will be posted, so if you are listening not live, I don't know if you're going to enjoy this, but I don't know. You'll have to see how the nonsense goes of a mostly unedited Shardcast, because we're only going to edit out critical tech support failures, basically. The VODs will be posted tomorrow for this. So, we actually have some news. We got some stuff about Dark One.
Dark One.
There's pre-orders, and already more than 500 people have pre-ordered it.
Yep. You can. I think it's running for about $25.
Yeah.
You can pre-order the either just the ebook, which is gonna run you a little cheaper than that, or ebook plus hardcover. Of the first volume, I think, is what's happening there. But I'm not sure.
Have they ever said how many volumes it's going to be?
No, not at all.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think so, no. But you can do that. And if you do that, you get the first chapter or the prologue as a downloadable PDF, I believe it is. You also get some wallpapers for your desktop, for your phone. You get a discount code for the time-limited exclusive Dark One t-shirt that they have limited supply of.
There's only 500 of the t-shirts.
Yeah. And that's it. And it's
there's the did you say the art book?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's also an art book. Yeah. There's a
it's got like some sketches that are like, it shows you the sketch and then the colored.
Okay. We are being updated live. Oh, the benefits of doing a live stream.
I know.
Ian says 3 volumes.
Ian.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, he would know.
Thanks, Ian.
So.
Yeah, we'll trust Ian just this once.
Yeah.
But yeah, I read the prologue. I thought it was pretty snazzy, and it features somebody who's definitely not Syl.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's true. Sorry, I had to fix the overlay. That's what I'm going to be doing. Just production. Fell Candy says she likes the excerpt. So,
Which of you guys ever read the excerpt? Because I haven't.
I read like the first 5 pages, but I couldn't read the text of like the evil guy that was red, and I kept squinting, so I gave up.
I think they made some of it available a few months ago, and I read that, but it's been too long. So
yeah, they had a few pages way back, and now we have the entire prologue. So I'm not gonna spoil anything, I guess. I don't know.
Spoil that first 29 pages that are out for free.
But I thought the end of the prologue was a real nice touch. Like, I don't understand everything. Like, obviously, I know the premise of Dark One, but I didn't get a lot of like the world building and who the characters were. But the end of the prologue was like, oh, this, like, even if I didn't know anything about Dark One, I would have found this preview interesting and intriguing.
Yeah, cool. And the art is just really nice. Like, I quite like the art, honestly.
How would you say it's compared to the White Sand? Is it?
Yes.
Would you say it's clearer than White Sand?
Yeah, I like it significantly better than White Sand. Yes.
It's probably going to be consistent. So
I would hope so. So it
makes me excited for future White Sand graphic novels. I don't know. I think they've got their hands wrapped around it a lot better now.
Yeah.
Yep.
So someone asked in chat, any boom boxes? I guess part of it is modern, so like we could have boom boxes. So that
the boom boxes are the friends we make along the way.
See, if we ever get like custom Twitch emotes, we're gonna do things like that. That's gonna be quality stuff, right?
I mean, we do have the boom box. We just need to put it up.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So that is great news, and I'm glad that it is coming out. And also, like, it comes out the end of June 26th, the ebook, and the hardcover is August. So I guess expect a podcast in July because we'll have the ebook. So I guess we'll do that.
Yeah. I honestly forgot Brandon. Like, I didn't realize it was so close to being done. Like, I saw the preview and I was like, oh, maybe next year or something.
Well, he said in a recent live stream that it was done. So
yeah. I only watched the live streams with his parents on them. Those are fun.
I mean, those were pretty great. I will say those were pretty tight. So what I wanted to do now is, and we kind of talked about this on our podcast on making fun of our old theories. At least Evgeni was there, but I wanted to talk about how each of us got into the fandom, because it's an anniversary live stream, right? So we gotta, we gotta talk about that. So, Evgeni, why don't you quickly recount what you said before? Yeah.
Well, the short version of it is I came into the Brandon fandom as a Robert Jordan fan. I had been a Wheel of Time fan for a long time, and then here comes the announcement that this guy that I've never heard of, Brandon Sanderson, some youth in the fantasy community, was going to be finishing the great Wheel of Time, the best series of all time. And I was super upset about that. And I refused to read this upstart, this guy who doesn't know anything about great fantasy. Until several months before The Gathering Storm, which was going to be his first book in the Wheel of Time, came out. And then I read the books, and obviously I thought they were kind of okay, and we are now 15 years later or whatever.
Awesome. David, what about you?
Can I go off that, actually?
Yes. Wow, you're real loud now for some reason.
Oh, am I? Oh,
yeah. Let's fix that. Let's just there we go. All right, that's better.
So I was a Wheel of Time fan as well. I didn't really catch on until Memory of Light was written. So I did like 2 years of Wheel of Time reads and rereads after it was all done. And then I was like, I got to do something new. So I picked up Mistborn, and I actually didn't like it that much.
How dare you?
Yeah, see, I wasn't impressed, but I didn't hate it. It was just kind of like, oh, it was nice. But then I picked up Stormlight and found out about the Cosmere, and once you find out about that, you're gone. So that's
the connected universe of the whole thing is really cool. Is a really big thing.
It's really cool. It's really cool.
Yeah.
David, how'd you get in the fandom?
See, I was wary of the connected universe. I I picked up The Way of Kings when I was a sophomore in high school, like just wandering around the adult book section, and I was like, "Oh, this is the biggest book that I've seen here today."
Oh, the adult.
So,
okay, right. Sorry.
Not like the adult.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I was voyaging out of YA. I was going and picked it up, read it, loved it. Did not bring it back to the library until we moved, which was several months later. Sorry, library. And then got online, found Stormblessed, where I found an interview from 17th Shard they had reposted with Eric and Mish and Josh and everybody.
Our one and only interview with Brandon over the
From like 2010, I think. Yeah.
It was before Way of Kings came out. Yeah.
Yeah, and I found out about the Connected Universe and was like, we'll see if Mistborn is good. And I liked it. So. And now I'm here.
Now you're here. Ben, what about you?
So I love telling this story because it means I get to talk about Mass Effect. And so
are you going to hate on Mass Effect 3's ending?
Oh, easily. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
So I was a huge Mass Effect fan, and Mass Effect 3 came out. And Mass Effect 3 disappointed the hell out of me. To the point where it put me in a real funk of like, I didn't want to start anything because I was like, what if the ending's bad? So I Googled books with good endings. And then this little book called Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson came up. So I bought that. I read that. Had a great ending. So I read the whole series. Got to the end of Hero of Ages. And I was like, what are these random bodies that fell from the sky? Like near the end of the book. And then I Googled it and I was like, they're aliens? And then they're people from another planet? Okay. So I Googled it and then that kind of, as you say, once you discover the Cosmere, you're in. You start reading everything. You want to read everything, yeah. And from that's how I got in.
Awesome. Hey, chat. How's my audio and video sync now? How's this? We're doing this. Is it better? Did I fix it?
Yes, but also no. Or is that the
no? That was before.
Yeah.
Not great. How so?
That's not great.
That is not great. A little off.
Getting mixed opinions here.
Yeah.
It's good.
I think it looks good.
Is my audio synced with my face? Okay, great. So basically, well, you guys don't care. Yeah, look, there's a lot of pointless tech support crap that you don't care about. There's a checkbox, basically, and when I used the webcam, I needed to have the checkbox on, but apparently with this camera, I need to have the checkbox off because reasons.
You don't care, but I'm going to explain the checkbox anyways.
Yeah, that's right. That's the content you want. Paleo, how'd you get into this?
So I think it was late 2015, some British guy on IRC recommended Mistborn to me. And I picked it up in German, and like Final Empire, I read it in German. The German translation was not that great, but then I decided the story was hooked me from the beginning, and so I decided to read the rest in English. And then I think I read Era 2 as well, up to Shadows of Self. Then Bands of Morning came out, and I was just all involved or hooked from then, and I didn't really enter the fandom proper until last year, though. So there's that. Yeah.
Someone in chat is asking where you're from.
I'm from Germany, specifically from Bavaria, close to Würzburg, or actually in Würzburg.
Well, don't give him your address.
I shared that before, so yeah, it's fine if you don't know. Yeah.
Awesome. Josh, did you have anything you wanted to add, or did we cover what you wanted to say?
No, that's my. So I don't. How did I get into the fandom?
Yeah,
that's how it started. I started interacting with people on Reddit first, and then there wasn't enough going on there, so I joined 17th Shard and started editing Coppermine because that's what you do.
Yeah, the Coppermine dating service. If you are single, edit the Coppermine. There's a non-0% chance that you will meet the love of your life. True story. There's at least 2 different couples. At least 2.
That's alarming.
No, no, it's true though. It's true though. I'm not the only
I
one.
know that's why it's alarming.
So I got into Elantris in the paperback of Elantris came out. So it must have been 2005. I got it in a random Seattle bookstore, read that, and then I'm like, oh, what's this Mistborn thing? And I'm like, I didn't want to read it because it wasn't an Elantris sequel. So I literally didn't read it for a while, and then like a year later, I'm like, I did like Brandon Sanderson. That was really good. And so then I picked up Mistborn, and Well of Ascension had already come out in hardcover, and then I'm like, oh, Mistborn's really good. And then I joined Time Waster's Guide after Well of Ascension because I loved Mistborn a lot. And so now I'm here, and I've never left the fandom.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
What's probably your most fond fandom memory?
Oof.
Oh, I missed the question you ut right out there.
Oh, I did? I did?
No, just for me. Don't worry.
Oh, great.
It's a me problem.
Robot David is here. You're used to Robot Grace, but it's Robot David time.
Hey, I had to do it from home this time, so
that's true. That's true. What's your fondest fandom memory? So, Evgeni, why don't you start? We'll go around.
So I have a couple that I can cite. I think the first Brandon signing I went to was Alloy of Law, maybe. I'm not sure. And during that signing, I met with a bunch of people and just hung out, spent a lot of time with fellow fans. And I think that kind of established a community of Brandon fans in Chicago. And so we were not a super tight-knit, but a fairly tight-knit group. And so we started going to signings together to the point where in the last couple of signings, Skyward, Skyward specifically stands out as.
I think you mean Starward, actually.
Yes. Sky Sight.
Yes. Yeah, I love that book.
It was the Skyward one where I feel like I remember the time I spent with my friends and fellow fans more than I remember like the couple of minutes that I had with Brandon at that time. And so it was it's a point in time when I realized that I enjoy signings because, well, obviously because Brandon, right? But also because of the community that I'm building around them and the friends I'm making around them. So the signings are the friends you make along the way.
It's the journey, right?
And also, of course, the moments when Brandon like started recognizing me by face and then by name. So that's
then by warning, Evgeni.
and then going to my personal Facebook after a signing and starting a message with warning, Evgeni.
I think I loved when you sent a question at one of the recent live streams where what did you say? You were like making fun of like, can you ask us? So
at the beginning of a recent live stream, Brandon was talking about how he just can't answer. So people were asking him questions. Hey, can you tell me something about this character or something about this book
Cosmere,
or whatever?
That's what they do a long time ago. Don't do that, by the
way. Something new that you haven't told anyone else. And Brandon was complaining about how he just doesn't have these answers anymore. Like he can't just come up with new knowledge and new lore on the spot. And so to make fun of that, I asked, hey, can you tell us something we don't know about something we don't know?
And like literally watching Brandon's face go from, oh, it's Evgeni, and like Brandon recognized it and it's like, oh no. And then he just laughed when he got to the punchline and found it was really funny. That was good stuff.
I loved it. It was great.
David, what about you? What's one of your favorite fandom memories? It could be on the forums, could be in a live event, whatever comes to your mind.
I think one of my favorite like like 17 shard specific memories was in the days before Discord, we had IRC.
Yes, IRC. Mhm.
And the days before IRC, before we decided we were going to get it, there was this weird little chat box.
Oh, yeah. The shout box. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
And that was where we decided to make IRC because there was a couple, like 3 or 4 different nights where like a bunch of people were just chat box, and it was so fun. And it was where I met it was where I like talked to Eric for the first time and met a bunch of people. It was just a great like weird little time.
Well, the Mistborn RPG still has one of those, but no one goes there. So
they're waiting for the ball.
I hate those.
Yeah. Well, it's good when you have a community of 10 people. Not so great when it is a little higher than that. Yes, David is at his home internet, and so he's a robot. So I'll just go like this when I realize that he's a robot. Okay. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. It's just like occasionally, whenever it's my turn to talk.
Yeah, this is why Jess can't be on any podcasts or things, because her Australian internet is garbage. So yeah. By the way, I just want to make a note that this will not exclusively be a sausage party, that the second half of the stream, we will have Alex, Shannon, and Grace. They wanted to do Ship It or Rip It, so we're going to do some Ship It or Rip It later, and we'll chat with them too. So we're going to get tons of people, 11 people total, so yeah. So don't you worry, there. Ben, fandom memory. What you got?
I would have to. There's 2 that I've got, and I don't know how to decide between either of them. One of them was the Oathbringer signing, which was.
You made a YouTube video about it.
I wish I made a YouTube video about it. Yeah, and that was the first time I met Brandon, and first time I'd done a meetup with people from the 17th Shard, and that was really excellent because everyone was super friendly. We just had a lot of fun. Like, you get to hang out with Brandon for like 2 or 3 minutes, and then the rest of the evening was spent with the other people. And it's the other people that really made that. There was also
it really matters.
Yeah, like it's being able to just talk Cosmere. Like, obviously we do it regularly, on Shardcast, but being able to in real life just to sit down with like people and just talk like about the Cosmere was absolutely fantastic. And so there was that, and then there was also the Emerald City Comic Con, which was the second time I met Brandon, and that was just, you guys in the US do everything way bigger than we do it in the UK. And like that, I've been to London Comic Con. I go regularly to London Comic Con, and the Seattle Emerald City Comic Con was like the London Comic Con, but then three times on top. There was 3 floors to it. It was huge. And yeah, just doing the same thing there, where we got to meet up, hang out, and I got to play some Magic the Gathering with Brandon afterwards.
Right, yeah.
That was really cool. I also, and that's when I got to tell him about, one second, I'm going to text my wife now, bear with me.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That is a thing from the Oathbringer release.
No, it's from the Emerald City Comic Con. So a couple of years ago, almost 3 years ago now, I made a bet, and I said I bet if Venli does not, Eshonai. If Eshonai does not become a Will Shaper, then I would eat a shoe, because this was before Oathbringer came out, and we didn't know she was dead, and then it turned out she was dead. And so I've been sitting on this bet for like 2 or 3 years at this point.
And you like, literally talked with Brandon about it too. And it was also about like timbre and Eshonai. Like it kind of morphed a little bit.
Yeah, that's
in my memory.
The one where Brandon confirmed. Yeah, Brandon. Obviously, I just wanted to know if Eshonai was going to come back, and he took it as me talking about whether timbre was Eshonai or not. Timbre. Yeah,
I'm doing it for you, Ian.
And so yeah, that was when I told him, hey, yeah, it really sucks that she's not alive, because I made a bet where if she became a Radiant, then I wouldn't have to eat a shoe. Unfortunately, I have to eat a shoe now. And right on time.
That's really good timing.
This is my wife.
Hey.
Hi.
Who has incredibly made me this shoe.
Can you lift it up a little more so the name it's a little bit above the nameplate?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes.
So I'm gonna eat this. I'm gonna eat this now on this live stream.
You have to eat the whole thing. Stuff
I'm eating the
yourself.
whole thing. But before I do want to show you my wife didn't just make that cake. To celebrate our 10th anniversary, she also made me this lovely 17 shard cake.
Whoa!
Oh, nice.
This I didn't know about in advance.
You guys didn't know about that one.
I knew about the show.
But she gets to eat that one. She's eating that one.
Huge. What a keeper.
I know, right? The
I mean, she's not a keeper, but she could always edit the copper mind, you know, like that's possible.
Retroactively use the Coppermine dating service. Yeah.
She seems good. She seems good, Ben. I approve of your relationship choices.
Excellent. Right.
The Overlady, as it is.
The Overlady. Right. So before we move on, I'm going to take a big bite and then we can move on.
Yeah. That looks very realistic, I must say. This is quality.
Yeah.
That's
Cool.
really
You
well
now
done.
I chew.
This is what you get with the live stream. See, you get this quality content, though. We're just sharing fun stuff, you know?
Dubious quality, but yeah.
Well, dubious. Well, every show is a dubious quality, Argent.
Fair.
So while Ben stuffs his face, Joshua, what
let me pick up with Oathbringer.
Yeah.
I guess for me, one thing would be Oathbringer preview chapters. It was a lot of fun, like discussing those each week as those were coming out. I don't know, they would drop on like Tuesday mornings or something, maybe.
Yeah,
Tuesday,
morning.
8
It was
o'clock.
a morning
Yep.
during a week. Yeah, there you go. So it's like I'm just sitting at work, but every Tuesday at 8 a.m. it was like everything gets on hold right now because I got to go read these chapters and then chat with people. So that was a blast. Looking forward to doing that again for Rhythm of War. Then second one would probably be Jordan Con 2018. I think is when I went. Yeah, it was 2 years ago. That was the first time I think that I had like met other fans, and there was a bunch of people that were there from all over the place. So met Evgeni wherever he's at. I don't know what angle. A couple other
Right
people,
above you,
so
apparently.
Yeah. So that was there you go. So that was a blast. It's always a good it's a good time to meet people in person. So I agree with that.
Bye, Overlady.
That's excellent.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Marvin, what do you got?
So mine, funnily enough, also has to do with Oathbringer, but with the German release of Oathbringer. I was to the Stuttgart signing last year, and it was due to GDPR complaint or concerns and stuff like that. We are not allowed to record it.
Yes, right.
And
I remember this.
Yes, I do.
And two other sharders and me, we sat down and recorded transcribed basically everything Brandon said more or less live. And it was really amazing to see how like all the other fans who were there, they just, let me tell you what exactly I asked and what exactly Brandon answered. And like they were all very excited that we were recording them. And yeah, I think that was a pretty great highlight. Like I was to a signing before, but it was just at a small German book fair, and so it wasn't like a huge Brandon-only event. But this signing, it was just amazing, and like it was my first real interaction with fans as well in real life. And yeah, another great story I think was relatively recently when Brandon finally answered the Cytoverse question, and everybody in chat just got really excited that finally it was answered. Yeah, that was fun as well.
Yeah, so if you don't know, the Skyward universe has both Skyward and Defending Elysium, and Grace, who we'll see later, coined Cytoverse, and for like 3 streams we were trying to like get a name.
I was trying from the very first stream actually. Yeah.
Yeah, so we got that, and Brandon heard that. Is like, great, love it. I was like, yes, and on the Coppermine, we're like, yay, hooray! Because now we don't need to say Skyward Universe and argue about the capitalization of whether that U should be capitalized or not.
Mm.
You
Exciting
know,
stuff.
Your
we'll
Coppermine
be,
arguments are great.
we'll be going to the bottom of the barrel for YouTube content when we just argue about the most minor things. It's like the Half Shard episode, but much more boring. When we just argue, it's like, no, this should be this line. So yeah, Cytoverse is a really cool name. I'm gonna share one story for now, and this probably should have gone in our old theories, but I remember there was a time long ago, maybe David remembers this, where there was basically when you tap a metal mind in Ferrochemy, there's kind of a bit of loss to it. And basically the fandom was trying to name that. This led to a great debate. Do you remember this, David?
It sounds familiar. I don't know. You have to tell me what the name is that we came up with.
Well, see, no one uses it, though, even though I was absolutely adamant because it's stupid. Because I said, and you'll all realize why it's dumb, is because I said we should call that you're not tapping the metal mind when you're doing that. You're surging the metal mind. And in retrospect, that is a really bad idea.
I remember that.
And I kind of forgot about that, and I think everyone's forgot about that, but I wanted to share some of that nonsense. I'll share some live stream stories with Matt and Alex when they get on later, because I have met both of them. I've met Josh and I've met David in person, who are all great. Awesome. So what I want to do now is we gotta talk about what is your favorite book in the Cosmere.
Oof.
You can like have like a top sum if it's hard to rate, but like
I have an easy top two.
Okay,
I
go.
have an easy top two. Words of Radiance is
good.
Is a stellar book. Just
So good.
Way of Kings is like I really like Way of Kings. But like Words of Radiance, I'm like, right, I'm in this for the however many 30 years I need to wait for this series. I'm in. Like, I'm down for this. Like just how much goes on, what happens, the way he constructs it so that it builds towards that incredible ending. It's fantastic stuff. The second one I would say is my easy pick is I actually really, really, really love Shadows of Self.
That is a good choice.
Yeah, I actually just remembered I have a third one as well.
Mute your phones. I hear the buzzing. Someone's buzzing. Mute your phones. Grumble.
I think Shadows of Self is one of his most emotive. Like I find it incredibly emotional. It's not the flashiest. It's not the most well plotted or well paced or anything like that. But I find it very, very emotional, like connecting to me.
The wife's so good, had to kill her twice.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, it was probably because I was engaged at the time, so like wife stuff gets me because like yeah. I think I was reading Oathbringer, and it was like 6 months before the wedding when I was reading Oathbringer, and like Down, I was getting like nervous about getting married, and I'm like, no,
this affects me right now.
Yeah. And then my third one which is I always say is Brandon's best written book is The Emperor's Soul, which I think has the best writing.
Yeah.
The prose on that.
It's really good.
Yeah. That's my contribution.
Yeah.
For me, it's a very, very close call between Words of Radiance and Oathbringer. And it was definitely Words of Radiance until Oathbringer came out, and then Oathbringer came out. And the ending, the climax of Words of Radiance, I think gets me more. Just stronger emotional reaction. I think it builds up a little better. Oathbringer ending is really, really good. I don't think it's quite as good as Words of Radiance, but the rest of Oathbringer I think is better than the rest of Words of Radiance. So it's this dichotomy of the ending of one versus everything but the ending of the but they're like 45 versus 55%. Like they're very, very close. But I think I found Oathbringer just not exhausting, but almost overwhelming. It was just such a meaty, heavy book. Like,
Yeah. I mean, it is. It is. It totally is. And at that point, it's like personal preference, which you prefer, right?
Yeah, and it's a really close call between the two.
David, what about you?
For Stormlight, definitely agree. Words of Radiance is like that is my favorite book. It like Oathbringer is great. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Oathbringer is great, but like I felt like the end of Words of Radiance, like that was like the world opened up, and you're like, oh, this is what this series is about. There are limitless possibilities from here, which is always kind of an easy place to like something. And my other favorite would probably be, this is unpopular, but I like Bands of Mourning more than Shadows itself. And it's because it's a good book. And I always just in my head wanted a Mistborn Indiana Jones adventure. And then Brandon wrote it. And I was like, this is for me. So
Yeah, right,
I can't
exactly.
say no. Yeah, when they were in the temple, I was just like, this is exactly what I imagined. So
Yeah. Once they get to the airship, it's just like just the entire rest of the thing, right?
I'll actually jump in there because
Paleo?
Bands of Mourning also is my absolute favorite, which might be unpopular, but I think it has a lot of great Steris moments, and Steris is one of my favorite characters, and that adds to the value of the book for me. Alec also is a really great character. The Southerners in general are really intriguing to me. And the Indiana Jones vibes are definitely another factor, but also Bands of Mourning has a special place for me because it was the first release I was there for in the fandom, and that just cemented my belief in Brandon as a good author.
Yeah, it helps a lot. I was gonna throw in an honorable mention for Secret History.
Secret History, if you all have read Era 1 and you haven't read Mistborn Secret History, look, you gotta do that. You just have to do that.
It was, in many ways, it was a fan service, right?
Absolutely. My mom actually read Secret History because she's read all the Cosmere, and I think she might show up at least in the chat, actually, because I told her about the stream.
Ooh.
But
Ian's mom, make yourself known.
I'm not Ian.
Sorry, Eric. Oh, yeah. That's something you guys can get live because we normally edit out. For some reason, I always call Eric Ian and Ian Eric.
Well, see, the funny thing is that my brother's named Ian, and so my mom will get us confused. So, are you my mom? Like, what? Get out of here. This is weird.
I am.
Oh, no. You were a Khandra all along. But my mom was so confused about Mistborn Secret History. It's like, what? Where are we? And I'm like, they're in Shadesmar. And she's like, oh. I had to kind of explain it to her because it's just because it'd been so long since she read Era 1 and quite a bit since she read that. But she finished Era 2 and it's just like, you gotta read Secret History. She's like, I don't know if I really understand what's going on. So it's like there's a balance there. Another fun story about my mom is she finished Oathbringer. We went out to dinner and she's like, I thought this would have more of a definitive conclusion. I was like, Mom, it's 10 books. And she's like, oh. Yeah, I thought it was a trilogy. I don't know if I would have started these if if I knew it was 10 books. I was like, yeah, it's 10 books. I'm sorry.
There's lots of people who think Stormlight is just a trilogy and were super disappointed in Oathbringer because it doesn't end the series probably. You have another 7 books to wait.
There are 3 gods and 3 moons.
It's probably just the fantasy default of so many fantasy series or trilogies.
It's book 3. It's the end.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a bummer of an ending for Kaladin for the series. He failed.
But I'm sorry for that tangent, but very funny. Josh, what about your favorite?
Favorite? I'm torn between Words of Radiance and Oathbringer as well. It'd be hard to pick between the two. It's just different things I like about each. I'll go. I mean, let me say I'll put Bands of Morning over Shadows itself, though.
Ooh,
I'll
yeah.
agree with that. And favorite novella, I would pick Shadows for Silence. Actually,
Ooh.
I think that's an uncommon opinion, a pretty uncommon opinion, but that was my favorite novella that he's written.
Because Emperor's Soul is so good, though. Like, that's the thing. It is really good.
For me, the story of Emperor's Soul isn't as strong. Like, there's not as much like action, I guess, maybe.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. It's much more artsy. Yeah.
I do really like Shadows.
Shadows of Self or Shadows for Silence?
Hey.
No, I just like Shadows. I just like
You
it
just
when
like
light gets plot.
Well, yeah, that's because half your face is in one right now. I think I prefer Oathbringer over Words of Radiance, but both Oathbringer and Words of Radiance are very close for me. I love the plotting of those books as opposed to Way of Kings. Way of Kings is my least favorite Stormlight. I like it, but I had to grow to like it, whereas Words of Radiance is exactly my book. And Oathbringer ending, that's so good. Chapter 120, so good. Just my favorite. And, you know, I have to disagree with you, Evgeni, because I Words of Radiance, the before the ending is probably better than Oathbringer's, like prior to the ending, but I think you just felt the ending was kind of exhausting, right? There's just a lot, you know?
I mean, I wouldn't say that. No, I liked the ending a lot. It's just at the end of the book, when I put the book down, I felt drained. And it sent me to like a 1.5 book hangover where I couldn't read anything else.
See, yeah, I just loved the end of Oathbringer. I love how like the Unmade, it all fit together, and it's like, this is why this book cannot be split. I was like, yes, amazing. And I just like Words of Radiance is incredible, and the ending is great, but it's just like slightly less because I just love how the flashback, I just love the plotting of Oathbringer. It just fits together so great for me, and I just love that. But I think, like, if you read part 3 of Oathbringer, like, I wouldn't say it's a drag, but it's a lot. Is, you know, right? Like,
that's the Kolinar, right?
Yeah. And
That's
so
one of my favorite parts.
Well, it's really good, right? But it's hard to read for all the right reasons, I think, you know? Like, it's...
Yeah.
Like, Shalala, it's rough, you know? And Words of Radiance kind of doesn't have that problem, whereas... so I can
Words of
see...
Radiance is overall lighter.
Yeah, it is. I think I have to go with Shadows. I'm a plot person. I love tight plotting. And so, Ben... I think Shadows is super tightly plotted and is just a awesome story. But I think we can all agree both Shadows and Bands are way better than Alloy.
Yes. Alloy doesn't even come into the picture.
Not even.
Favorite books.
Not even. But like, I love Bands of Morning, and once they get to the airship, I know I was like, what is happening? What is happening? What is happening? And it's just like my volume just keeps going higher and higher through that entire thing. So I love Bands. It's just, I think I like Shadows and the darker stuff better. But like, I think both of those books are excellent for what they do. And I think that's really great that Brandon does do different things with there too. And I have no idea what Lost Metal is going to be like. Which one will it be like? I have no idea.
Or when. Back to Alloy.
Better than Alloy. There you go. Better than Alloy. Now, on that same note, what's your least favorite Cosmere book?
Can't say Well of Ascension.
I mean, I'd have to go with Well of Ascension.
That's the easy one. That's the low-hanging fruit.
Yep.
Someone asked in chat, what's wrong with Alloy? So you have to understand that I at least like got Alloy and it was advertised as a standalone when it is clearly frickin' not a standalone, and then I had to wait 4 years for it. And so I'm a little bitter about the ending, and I just don't think the ending was as good as the other two. That's all. And I judge books on their ending, and if I don't like their ending, I don't like the book. So Ooh, chat is like, does white sand even count? White sand? There's like so many people that like white sand. It's like, you know what, chat? You're right.
Harsh.
You're right, chat.
Harsh.
Ooh, and then some Nevi BK says Calamity least favorite. What do you think about that, David?
Oh, Calamity sucked. Calamity that should have been a 4-book series. Brandon wrote that and was like, oh, okay, by the end we're also just gonna, it was a Delver problem where they just kind of convinced it to leave, and then they were like, oh, I guess it's been 20 years, and it was just hanging out.
I didn't mind Calamity, but I find your rant about it hilarious.
Yeah, and he's just like, oh, randomly he gets Steelheart's powers and his dad has Steelheart's powers. What are the odds of that? That he was killed by a man who would happen to have the exact same power set, which was implied to be genetic.
Is Reckoner's Cosmere? No. Evgeni, what do you think?
Because you asked least favorite Cosmere.
Yeah.
Hence the question.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I would if we are constraining this to Cosmere, I would probably have to say Shadows for Silence.
I don't like the ending of that. I think the atmosphere is 10 out of 10, but the ending was a bit of a letdown for me. It was fine.
Yeah.
I get of the novels, I do think Elantris is the weakest one aside from Ascension. But it's also the earliest one, so I can't really what are you gonna do?
I like it well enough, but Brandon's grown clearly.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I think it was for White Sand because it's his first foray into graphic novels, and you just can't adapt prose that well.
Not like that.
Novel. Yeah.
Not the same. Yeah.
It's so hard to do wiki stuff for it too, because there's no descriptions. So you have to be like, what does it look like? You have to look
at the art to translate it into words.
The highly consistent art.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm not a describer. I'm not a writer. That's his job.
Yeah, right.
But no, it's tough though.
Ben, what do you think?
I think mine is definitely Elantris. I read Elantris after I read the Mistborn trilogy. And it nearly stopped me from reading Brandon because it took me it took me 2 weeks to get through Mistborn, the whole trilogy, and then it took me a month to get through Elantris. Because I read books. Yeah, when I don't a book, it takes me ages to read it.
Dang.
And I was powering through because I was like, I started reading this guy because he does good endings, so hopefully he's got a good ending. And then literally the only part I remember of Elantris that I liked was the priest warrior red black man. What's it?
Ben, this is why you run Who's That Cosmere character rather than play it, because you can't even remember a main character.
Yeah. I don't edit the Coppermind. I don't play Who's That Cosmere character. When it comes to names,
Mr. Andalasium himself.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I do think that when Elantris 2 comes out, it will be the most uneven trilogy that Brandon has read. It's going to be a jump to post Bringer quality.
Yeah. Wow.
Harathan, that's his name. Harathan. I love Harathan. Yeah. Harathan's great.
And
that's how you pronounce that.
I gotta agree that Elantris is the worst for me as well. But the only maybe not the only redeeming quality, but the only thing I really like about Elantris also is Harathan's arc, and everything else is.
It's really good. Harathan's arc's really good.
Yeah, but the rest, I
like the solution to the Elantris problem. That really made it for me. It was that was a fun magic mystery that sets up what Brandon does in his writing. So in 2005, I loved it. For sweet.
Elantris was my first, and I loved it.
Yeah, I definitely put Elantris at the bottom, unless White Sand Volume 1 counts. That one was definitely the worst. White Sand is a special place in my heart, though, because that's what I started editing Coppermind for.
That's true. You did get into it that way.
I was I guess I'll do that.
Yeah.
So,
in turn, White Sand is top tier meme potential. So
you can't complain about the boombox. The boombox is just quality stuff here.
The boombox, we got
Kenton! Get me my boombox!
And Tatum and all that stuff. So yeah, it's the meme potential is there, but
Look, I eventually, now that I have camera and setup, you might get a more well-produced version of that skit. It'll be good. It'll be 3 years too late, but whatever, that's fine. It doesn't matter. I think my least favorite...
Nobody mentioned Alamancer Jack.
Because Alamancer Jack is great.
It's not really a book.
I'm gonna be honest, Joff, I haven't read it. I haven't read it.
Oh,
now
man.
people know who to pick the for.
Guys, the 11th medal was the worst. Okay?
Oh, 11th medal was pretty bad. I will say that book, that wasn't very good. Like, it was fine. There was like lore, but it was like,
all 20 pages of it.
Yeah, I don't think I even finished those 20 pages.
Dang. I think
we don't count those.
Yeah, my least favorite will not surprise you that the least favorite novel of mine is Well of Ascension. To no one's surprise. That said, I will say the ending of Well of Ascension makes the horrific slog of that book completely worth it. But like, I haven't reread that in so long. Like, I legit don't think I've reread Era 1 for so long, but Well of Ascension's rough. And I think for novella, my least favorite novella, I know it will shock you that I really do not like Six of the Dusk at all. It is no.
Wait, what? Really?
I like how people are like Six of the Dusk is cool. Look, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine if you like it. These are our opinions, and I'm known for being wrong, but I just thought the ending was such a colossal letdown, and I'm like, Brandon, that's what you came up with. You had this story for years and years, and this was the crappy ending you came up with. And Ian was trying to say to me, it's like, yeah, it's supposed to be disappointing. I'm like, well, mission accomplished. So it's like, I mean, I guess if that's the intent, it did work.
Let's not redo that entire argument.
No, we don't. We got to do a full episode on Six of the Dusk, to be honest.
But I thought you laughed at
when the sequel comes out.
Oh, yeah. In 40 years, when we get Mistborn Era 4.
I thought you laughed at the Leviathan at the beginning doesn't come up at all again.
Yes. But I do remember the first line's not as bad.
Yeah, we're not.
No one knows what we're talking about.
Hey, Eric?
Yes.
Are we pulling questions?
I wanted to do some chat, and we can absolutely pull questions from chat as well. That was exactly what I wanted to start doing. So we have some questions on Patreon. If you post questions in chat, we will also attempt to answer them. I guess I probably need like a Google Doc to keep questions in so I can keep up with chat. Question. How did the shoe taste, Ben?
It's not a did because I've still got loads left.
You have the heel left.
I've got the heel left. It is great. It's just a lot more than I thought it was. I am struggling.
What is the icing to cake ratio?
It's all right. This is a good amount of cake in there.
That's pretty good.
So yeah, that's how much I've got left. I'm still going.
Question from chat. How does Evgeni have such great hair?
I'm interested in this as well.
Maybe I was born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline.
Tell us a funny moment you edited out of Shardcast. Ooh. See, the thing is that once I edit, I don't remember what we did. That's the kind of the problem. Oh man.
I got some outtakes. I got some good outtakes of just.
What
I think there was a Halloween one. I can't remember if I included these in the outtakes after the episode. But there was a Halloween one where you guys just talked like 10 minutes about funny Halloween outfits. And I think did you have a Burger King one, Eric?
Yes, I do have a Burger King costume. I found it at a store in 2009, and I'm like, there's nothing more horrifying than this. So I was legally by law obligated to buy it because it's terrifying. And I remember going to swing dancing, and I wore the costume. And one of my friends, like, everyone's freaked out by it. And then I took off the mask, and she's like, "Oh my god!" And like, it just like broke out like almost in tears and hugged me. I was like, "That was terrifying." I'm like, mission accomplished.
So, are you the Burger King or are you a burger? Like,
no.
Okay,
Like,
sure
you know the Burger King from those ads. The head's not as good because the head's just like
Oh.
a crappy mask, but it's the Burger King costume.
Prime.
So the actual king.
Oh, Gray's commenting in chat. We had a half hour of very vigorous MCU opinions. That's true. That was pretty good though.
Yes.
That was pretty good.
We could have posted that. That was solid.
It was pretty solid. What else do we got?
Favorite chapter.
Which magic system would you want to use? Ooh,
Awakening.
Awakening. All right,
Mhm.
Josh, what do you think?
I like Farukami. I like all the machines they're building with it, which I guess Fabrials is going to head that direction. So
Yeah. But what if you're actually a fair chemist? Which one would you be?
Sure. I don't know. I feel like you have to be able to use it though to do stuff with it.
Yeah.
I
But
don't know.
like, if Harmony gave you ferrochemy, which power
Which
would you
one
ask for?
specifically? Oh,
Yeah.
You can't be a full Farukamist in this?
No, that's cheating.
Oh.
Which one?
I'm a mistborn.
Born.
It's like, yeah. Everyone is. Yeah.
If I have to pick one, it would be Copper. It would be Archivist.
All right,
Nice.
David.
Oh,
what do
I
you think?
definitely go with Awakener. Like, as long as I could get the breaths like cruelty free or something. I don't know how they produce those.
Free range
but-
breaths.
Yeah,
Free range
Okay.
I don't want to like mess with anyone's afterlife or whatever. But
Yeah. I should have said that too.
Marvin, what do you think?
I'd go with Farukamis as well, but I'd go with I can't remember what the name is, but the wakefulness. I think it's
Like, that would legitimately be useful.
Yeah,
Like,
but
that's useful
seems
for
the
most
useful in,
humans.
yeah, exactly. Like, I don't. Want
I
to
see you're
right
going the
now.
Brandon route.
Look, it's true though.
Yeah,
I think I have to go with Allomancy Brass Soothing. That's a practical ability for your day-to-day life, especially if no one knows that you have the ability. That's like the Radiants aren't really like good for day-to-day interactions on Earth, right? Like, flying is not that useful. Let's be honest.
I and my hour and a half commute disagree with you.
Okay, well, that's fair. That's fair. But you have to pay attention with your lashings, you know?
But
It's-
soothing would be even better if it would work over the internet. So,
well,
if
that's
you're in a
true. But
heated
yeah, you know. But I got to go with Allomancy. But Copper's pretty good, and Wakefulness is really good. Is that brass as well?
No, I think is brass
Bronze?
warmth.
Bronze.
It might be bronze. Yeah.
I don't know anything about Farukami.
I think
the way,
brass.
For the chat, this is something else we edit out. We make it look like we're experts because we edit out us going, is that this power or is that this thing? And then we look it up and then we edit out.
We
and look
we
like
also
experts.
cut out 15 to 20 minute research breaks. So it's like, I think I remember a wob, and then it's like, can't find it, and that all that's cut. Like, literally all that's cut.
I think I'm going to go something different than you guys. I'd go with Elantrian. I'd be an Elantrian if I could.
Oh
Because
yeah.
I'm like, I already know programming stuff. Like, that's already kind of how my brain works. So I'll just be like, I'm just gonna
Yeah,
do
but then
all
you have
of
to
your
be good
powers.
at drawing.
Oh, that's a good point. I'm terrible.
Yeah, that's a good counterpoint, isn't it? You have to be accurate and stuff.
Damn.
I guess Elantrians probably are the most versatile. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a
just-
boring
Yeah.
answer because they're so versatile.
I mean, that's half the reason I chose Awakening is because you can do interesting things there. But no, Aeon Door is probably also Brandon tends to describe it as programming, and that's kind of what I do. So
Someone
why
said
it
in
feels
chat,
to me.
"Don't say hemalurgy. Don't tempt me." That sounds like work, to be honest. I'd just rather be a soother or something. Ooh, what do we got? You should post bloopers. Well, we do now. We have the technology. We do post bloopers. They're at the end. But if you listen to the audio, they're not there because people on iTunes don't care about that. They don't. It's better if sometimes they're video gags and stuff. So they're on the video. So if if there's gags, they're at the end now. But
See, I had no idea.
before Feather, that we didn't do that. What do we
Nobody
got
ever listens
here?
that long. They give up after the first.
Well, yeah.
Do
well,
we
that
have anything
statistically,
from
that's true.
We got anything from the Patreon?
Yeah, let's
Should probably get to those.
Yeah, we do
Oh,
want
yeah.
to do that. Well, I mean, we do got lots of time.
Yeah.
So Darth Ellis asked, if you could ask Brandon any question knowing he could not Raffo it, what would you ask? Would you appreciate it being something specific, not simply tell me everything there is to know about the Cosmere? That's cheap. We wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Or something along those lines. I would probably ask something about the first gem, since I've always been fascinated by it and its seeming prevalence in Hoyd's story. Probably something about its powers and properties. And he also asks, what twinborn would you be?
Oh, okay.
Ooh,
Okay, I know we're doing double. All right.
I know. Yeah, no, the combinations, the combos.
Maybe you
I
have to
can
name it.
take. Yeah. Okay. Good luck with that. I can take the first question. I will probably ask about an unknown shard, because there are so few of those
true.
left.
That's true.
Yeah.
I want to be the person who gets the answer to one of the shards that we don't know the name of.
Our
yet.
brains are in the exact same space because my answer was going to be I'd ask Brendan for the rest of the shards.
That's an easy one. Then you get all of them.
Yeah.
If he literally wouldn't Raffo you, yeah. I would like to know them too, or at least the ideas.
I'd actually just ask whether wisdom is the survival shard, because I already started asking Brandon about that, and he raffled it. Wisdom or prudence.
Not even
or
sure that's a
whatever
shard name.
it might be.
Something like wisdom.
I started that, and Brandon raffled it before, and like it would be nice to definitely know whether it is that shard or not.
Yeah. I think just in a person, like I'm going to take it a little differently and just go for like a personal interest. I would probably ask about the evil on Trinity.
Can you say that again? Because you cut out for that. You was like, I would like to ask about the.
Yeah, can do. It only happens when I'm talking.
It's literally. Well, it's probably your upload speed, not your download.
It's
David.
almost like your upload is garbage. Yeah. Oh, somebody's saying
it shows
Vax
green
in
bars.
chat.
It's got to be good. No, it would be.
Oh my god, really? Oh my god.
We also edit this out of Shardcast.
These are the bloopers that aren't fun.
These are the not funny ones that is just cutting out constantly. Yes, David?
Yeah. I would ask about the evil on Trinity. Because I find that very interesting.
I guess
Nope. You pushed it too far.
Sign language after. You'll have to go with sign language after all.
I would ask about Ba Ado Mishram. When is Ba Ado Mishram going to be a total badass in Stormlight Archive and show up and just murder all of our main characters like a boss? I want to know. Tell me everything about Ba Ado Mishram. I just need to know in my heart of hearts.
Void Binding too.
Not
That's the other
Void
one.
Binding's a pretty good choice.
Yeah.
What the hell?
yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
Hand it down and just be like, what's up with Void Binding?
Please help.
I mean, I have literally asked that question.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
Well,
I think I would take the
four-letter
void
answer.
binding chart to Brandon and have him explain what does
Annotate
this
this.
chart mean. Yes.
By the way, don't do any of don't do that. By the way,
Yeah.
not that we'll have
somebody's
signings
saying-
anytime soon. So,
Mm.
you know.
Somebody in chat is saying don't shards.
Ooh, yeah, Dawn shards are good.
One shot would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe the shards we haven't seen are Dawn shards. Whoa, that's
Keep
a
going.
terrible theory. So Twinborn. What would you choose?
Twinborn.
Yeah.
I always joke about getting steel just because I really like the idea of going fast all the time.
You're
And
Sonic.
I've never actually really, being Sonic, being the Flash, I just go fast all the time and just. Yeah, it just seems like that's kind of my jokey answer. I've never really thought about this. I'm gonna think about it and I'll come back to you.
What do you think? Twinborn.
I'm tempted to pick copper just so that I can find out what.
Same. I was gonna say the same thing. It's like I just want to know. Steel compounder would be really good. Steel compounder was really good. Chat. I gotta be honest. My sleep has been terrible, so I think I'd go with soothing and wakefulness. I have no idea what the resonance for that would be. Probably really lame. But you know what? I think those are two very practical powers, and I don't need, I just want 2 powers.
I will go for heat because I live in Chicago.
Oh, put on a coat. Another coat. It's not that cold.
That's the guy from California.
I lived in Montana for 14 years, Josh. 14 years, good sir. I'll have you know.
I mean, I think I'd go for I already took wakefulness, so that's a ferrochemical power. I think I'd go with Bendeloy for Allomancy because those combine very well. I think.
Yeah, Bendeloy's pretty sweet.
Be in a time bubble without feeling sleepy. So top time management.
Yeah, I think if I was on Scadrial, I would do double chromium. Because then you could protect yourself from other Metalborn and be super lucky all the time. Let you do some Hoid stuff. On our Earth, I would do Crasher like whack. I think that'd be the most fun. But
yeah, and then you'd go to prison. Well, I guess they can't really keep you in prison. Really well. I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
I would pick whatever makes Chris the most interested in me.
All right. Yep.
Right. I think I've got my non-jokey answer now.
Okay, great.
I think I'd be a pewter Allomancer, and I'd be a.
Look on the table. Look on the table. Okay, see it in the background.
Yes, the calorie one, the store and food one, because then I could just eat burgers all day, every day, and then just store it somewhere else.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you can. You just have to You can do that already.
I could, but then I'd get really fat. So that is what I'm trying to avoid.
Yeah. I will take one that will be just a question for me. Quinn Kirchner asks, is there any chance you'll go back to posting weekly instead of bi-weekly? I know that Eric doesn't really have time anymore to edit that much, and that you'll probably post more often around book releases, but I'm curious to hear if there's been any discussion about dividing the workload more than it already has, or if anyone's been interested in taking charge of editing instead of Eric in order to resume the previous schedule. I totally understand if it's not going to happen. After all, none of you are getting paid. Well, we're getting paid very slightly by you, patrons, but very slightly. I guess I just want to confirm whether there's anything in the works or if bi-weekly podcasts will continue for the foreseeable future. So they will continue for the foreseeable future. Rhythm of Wartime, probably November through the end of January at least, will have weekly, though. Now, I will just say, going to bi-weekly, I think we've all had a collective sigh of relief that's like, wow, this is way less stressful. So we've been kind of stressed about weekly podcasts. So it's kind of a lot. We would like to put in some content that isn't podcast content. So I'd probably want to, if we're on a bi-weekly cadence, have some other content too to tide you guys over. We've had some ideas rolling around of some stuff that we can do, but at least until Rhythm of War, you don't expect anything new. You don't expect any Stormlight podcasts either until Rhythm of War. But
yeah, the other part that it's not just that Eric can't edit because he's got a lot of it does take a lot of time, but we also do run out of.
Sorry. My mom. My mom is in chat.
I was waiting for the right time.
My mom, Judester, is in chat. Hi, Mom. How's it going?
Hi,
I'm using the camera. I'm using the nice camera, Mom. So I'm using the nice camera at last. But sorry. Please continue, David.
Oh, I was just saying that we want to have interesting episodes, and once there's been a certain time since a book has come out, you start to have to like space out your topics so you have things to talk about for.
It
3
did
years.
really help for this year because we've kind of been in a Cosmere drought. I don't know if you noticed, and the other thing is, like, a lot of podcasts do rereads. We might eventually do a reread, but it wouldn't be the main Shardcast. We like the deep dives that we do. That it's not just like it's Elantris Part 1. Like, we're not going to be doing that sort of thing. So if we had a podcast more like that, we probably could get away with it. But we like coming up with creative topics, and that's actually kind of hard. But I'm really pleased. We have over 112 episodes, and we haven't gone to just like, we're reading a thing, or we're rereading stuff. Not to say that isn't valuable content, but I just like that we've been able to come up with so many different topics.
Yeah. Hopefully Rhythm of War will give us another 3 years worth of topics.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Guys,
will we see
my
Benny
cat's
some
here.
more? Benny's right here. Benny's right here. He's been in this entire episode. Just Tender. Benny's right
How's it
here.
going, guys?
And one of these corgis has a name and one doesn't. You'll see eventually. I need to surprise Ian, so I see him face palming. So, but that won't be this episode. I really appreciate all the kind words. And I'm glad that bi-weekly is okay. Like Patron went down a bit, but it went pretty okay. So I'm really glad to hear, because it's not just editing, like recording. Kitty!
This is Willow. She's been asleep on the floor, and now she's come to say hi.
Hi!
Kitty, indeed.
That's not happening.
No, we're not interested enough for Kitty.
No. Well, I mean,
She's very interested in the bits of cake on my lap, not the cake.
Well, that sounds about right. Look, I kind of want one of those shoes, to be honest.
We all are, Ben.
Yes. Oh, yes.
But like it's also scheduling and recording and getting enough humans on a weekly basis, and that's kind of exhausting to like, because we have an hour before we record, and then we're just like chatting and stuff, and by the end, like, our recording sessions are like 4 hours long, and you're like pooped at the end of this, you know? So like there's kind of a human cost for recording weekly for nobody. I'm not saying that the money is the key thing, but like it's not like we're making minimum wage doing it, right? So it's just a lot, and we kind of like our weekends on occasion.
Eric, Ian wants you to know that he's dreading the corgi's name already.
Oh, fantastic. He will wait several months for it. Jess and I have a great plan for it. Fantastic. Why isn't Ian in the Twitch chat? I'm not checking Discord chat.
Well, he's specifically pinging me, I guess, because I saw his previous message.
Fantastic.
So some more questions.
Rebecca, who edits the Copper. Oh yeah, let's take some Twitch chat questions.
I was just going to say, a lot of people still want to know how many who's that Cosmic characters are left. And
that's a question for you. Yep. How many do we got?
We're at 120.
Oh god.
Wow.
Oh my god.
I don't know how often we talk about this, but a few months ago we did change how we do it. We just don't do it sequentially anymore. We just kind of scroll to the bottom. We find one we like. We do it a bit more semi-randomly. So if you don't ever get yours read out, I do apologize, but it may happen, unfortunately.
Someone suggested a Patreon perk of skipping the queue in Who's That Cosmere character, and I kind of like that idea, to be honest.
Yeah, we might do that. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We might want to do some more Patreon things. We do want to do some more live streams, because now that we have the setup and we have the technology, then
this is great. I'm loving this.
Yeah, this is really fun.
Yeah.
This is super fun.
Really well.
Oh, hey, Alex is in chat. Hi, Alex. Well, we'll
Hey,
see
Alex.
You'll see her on the show in 40-ish minutes. What were some chat questions that we missed?
Tell us something about Evgeni that we don't already know.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Well, go ahead. No, I guess I'll take that one.
Yeah, I mean, I think you need to.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I figured it was gonna be like the five of you
Okay.
sharing.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Spicy
Well,
Argent
I'm
secret.
reading chat, so.
There's a door in his house without a doorknob that we're still trying to get answers on.
It's right there. There is a doorknob now.
Wait, why
I got
are you
self-conscious.
tilted this way then?
I moved.
Oh, okay. Look, the other day, we did a test stream, which I could post to Patreon. We could do that's that non-content that you want. And literally, it sounded like there was a leaf blower in the background just constantly, and there was not. It was pretty horrific.
It was my air conditioner.
Evgeni has an insatiable lust for power and really wants to be a 17 shard admin, even though that doesn't really do anything. And he just
That's true.
so that's a fact.
I'm collecting Discord ranks.
Ooh, can we start doing 17 shard streams where we do Who's That Cosmere character with the viewers? So we're going to do Who's That Cosmere character in a bit. It depends what you mean by with the viewers, but yes, like we'll be able to do that. We're going to be doing that live, and we have the technology. The clues will be on screen, so don't you worry. Yeah.
Oh, if you want to answer, that's going to be. I have to figure out.
So Paleo has coded us a Who's That Cosmere character interface for this. And I believe eventually the goal is that you would be able to do your own Who's That Cosmere character games with whomever you like, ever. So it's not done. It's done for the stream in a way that works for this. So Fel Candy has a great comment in chat. You should make Fel an admin before Argent.
No, it is not.
I think that's a great comment.
Great comment in
I
chat.
support that.
I like how you've been here for 2 weeks and Fel, and you're like, make me admin. That'd be great. What do we got? Someone asks, when will we have emojis on the shard, and we will have them this summer. Don't you worry. We will also have like reactions for posts rather than just up and down votes. So it should be fun. We will have Seth Facepalm on the forums.
Sweet.
And Spike. So that will be good.
Get that hashtag out of my face.
No. Let's make them all mods. And demod Argent. This is great. This is quality.
This is the kind of abuse I have to put up every day.
Yes, that's true. That's true. What do we got? You got some more questions in chat? What's your favorite theory? That's a vague question. That's hard to answer, but let's try.
That doesn't include our own, because I feel like that's cheating.
Yeah, I think that's cheating.
Yeah.
There were a couple that I heard about or saw recently that were really, really good. I just can't remember which ones they were. So not so much a theory, because I don't remember the details of it, but somebody noticed a connection between, or an apparent connection, not necessarily. I don't think Argent's a plant. Somebody noticed that
Terrangian's a plant. Best theory.
Between the moons of Roshar and the heralds, the magic systems, or the shards. I don't remember what it was. I remember there was a connection between Nomon being the blue moon and the biggest moon, and that illustration of Ishar in the end papers of Altfinger, where there was this large blue disc behind him, and also a painting in Eurytheru where there was I believe a storm representation of honor, cultivation in her tree lady, plant lady form, and a large disc. I don't remember the details of the theory, but I thought it connected a lot of bits in a very interesting way.
I would say mine is Brandon said that they've done the math for lashing something to the moon. And so my favorite theory is that Kaladin at some point is going to yeet himself to the moon, and I'm definitely up for that.
Oh yeah, and he'll use that adhesion to have an air bubble in plates and stuff. He'll be a space runner.
And he'll be a space runner, exactly. So that's my favorite theory.
Vacuum runner.
Space whales, yes! He gets a squad of space whales in the back 5.
Exactly.
And then he comes back. He fights the fused on Braze with his squad of space whales. Done. Yep. Hashtag nailed it. Easy. David just is like, oh god, what is happening? Like, oh. I can't think right now.
It's hard to pick a favorite that's not my own.
Yeah, it is. It is kind of hard, actually.
Oh, I've got one.
Yeah?
Okay.
I like the theory that one of the heralds is a traitor to the others. And we don't know which one it is. I think that's a really cool idea.
Yeah, his name's Nail.
Nale, you mean?
No!
Oh,
no! Boo! Ian's not on this episode. Get out. Get out.
I think for me, it's really hard to come up with one, but when XT's memory editing with Awakening theory,
that's pretty good.
Yeah, really liked it. Like when reading it,
it's a little crazy.
I can't remember the details, but
yeah, but it was well written. It was well written.
Yeah.
What?
You're there.
So Ravi in chat asks for a hair flip from Argent and says that I'm a patron. So this is the quality content you want.
He also had a more serious question, but
another question: what Cosmere planet would you want to live on? Especially if you were a non-magic user.
Oh, Era 2 Scoutreal.
Era 2.
Yeah, specifically Era 2.
I mean, maybe classical Scadrial. That probably also works.
Yeah, that would be neat.
I think classical Scadrial massively depends on who you're there as.
Thanks, Robbie. Your contributions are valued.
Does Silverlight count?
Huh?
Does Silverlight count? I guess not, because it's not really a planet.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I'd like to live in Silverlight. Yeah.
Yeah, that seems like a good one.
Yeah, I don't want to live on Roshar. The Roshar does not sound like a nice place to be. I'm gonna be
depending
honest.
on what, like present time. Yeah, you don't want to be there, but like I don't know, it wouldn't be so bad a couple hundred years ago.
Actually, like when Fabrial tech really has evolved and like they really make use of it.
Yeah,
Roshar might be cool, but
yeah, assuming everyone just doesn't all die. So you know.
Yeah.
So that's an if. Although I guess we do have the Space Age Roshar symbol, so I guess it'll kind of be okay, I guess, in some respects.
Yeah, because they take Eurythru and like just launch it to space at the very end of Stormlight. And
yeah. It's a colony ship.
Yeah, exactly.
With Fabrials. Eurythru was not a spaceship, but it will be a spaceship.
Become one.
There we go.
Easy.
And it always has been in the spiritual realm. Yeah.
Oh, it already is. It already is.
Obviously.
This is less a book question, but where did everyone's nicknames come from?
Ooh. I got this one.
Mine. Oh. Okay, go ahead, Jebus.
Okay. So mine was because there's that one scene in The Simpsons where Homer like falls down on his front lawn and goes, "Save me, Jebus!" And I get it from that. And then the Overlord bit, I have no idea where the Overlord came from.
Good. Awesome.
Mine, so I used to be Scarlet Argent a while back, and because I took 2 halves of 2 paladin factions in the Warcraft universe, the Scarlet Crusade and the Argent Dawn, and I'm big on the whole Paladin light Zeo fanaticism thing. And Scarlet Argent. Eventually, I just dropped the Scarlet thing because I thought it was a little tacky, and also people sometimes called me Scarlet, and sometimes people thought I was a lady. So
Yeah,
I
but
thought
then you
that
get
was
free stuff.
not. I have, because of the hair, I assume, I hope, have been mistaken for a lady from the back.
Well, I mean, I
So-
think that's fair for long hair. You know.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And so I dropped the Scarlet. It was just Argent, and then in some places, because apparently that's a name that's little popular, or at least not super unique, I have to tack in a Sun after that. So that's why my Twitch name is Argent Sun. So if you see Argent Sun somewhere, that's usually me.
Joff, what is your weird username?
So you probably know me as jofwu, but it's actually supposed to be jofwu, because I created it as a 12-year-old for my AOL Instant Messenger screen name. And my best friend, my name's Joshua. My best friend, when I was 5, couldn't pronounce my name. It came out as Jofwa. So that's 12-year-old me thought that, 1, that was a great screen name, and 2, that's how it should be spelled. From there, so as I got older, I had more professional emails and usernames for things, but I would still use that. I would still use Jofwa for junk accounts, stuff I wasn't actually going to take seriously,
Such as the 17th Shard.
Well,
And
so
Reddit.
no, it was Reddit. It was Reddit. So I joined Reddit first. It's someone asked me to do a thing, and I was whatever. So I made my account, but I ended up still using it. And then when I went to 17th Shard, I felt like enough people knew me by one name that I had to stick with it. And so now I'm just eternally stuck with.
Yeah, you cannot change your username on Reddit.
So
It's actually
moral of the
nice
story-
because then people don't change their names. It's really nice, actually.
Yeah.
So if you're 12 and you're deciding on your screen name, think about it for a minute.
Well, it's also hard. Screen names are hard all the time.
Yeah.
No, back when I was 12, I was going by Kinslayer in some places because I was really infatuated with Luz Terran from the Wheel of Time series, who was known as the Kinslayer. So
Hey,
that's not something I would have put on the resume.
hey, David, where'd your username come from?
So I was 14, and I'd never made an internet account before, and now I'm stuck.
Very original with Windrunner. What about you, Marvin?
It's similar for me. I was also 14, and I was into Minecraft modding at the time. And I wanted to write a Minecraft mod that is about fossils and reviving them, basically Jurassic Park in Minecraft. And I called it Paleo Craft because obviously you call a Minecraft mod something with craft in it.
Yeah, right.
And because I'm very uncreative and I needed something as an IRC handle at the time, I went with Paleo Crafter because why not? Because it was my mod. And eventually it just shortened to Paleo. And the funny thing about the mod is that I did not release it ever because 2 weeks after I started working on it, somebody else released a mod that was also called Paleo Craft, and
They took your idea.
Yeah.
Wow. Rip. I think I was 13 and I thought chaos sounded cool. So that's where I am. So now it's my brand. Ravi asks a great question. What's a series you guys would recommend for Cosmere fans trying to branch out? So we're recommending books that are not Cosmere.
Yep.
Get them to read non-Brandon things.
So it depends on how you want to branch out, right? If you are looking for something that is kind of similar to the Cosmere, but not Cosmere, right? I enjoyed Brent Weeks' Lightbringer series. I thought that was at times it was pretty good. At times it was okay. Recently I went on a binge with Will White's Cradle series and other of his series. They are also a connected universe thing, and it's a lot more popcorny than the Cosmere and Brandon stuff, but it kind of scratches the same itch that I have with the connected universe thing. It works really nice for me. And if you want something that's completely different, I am on my Dresden Files reread right now.
Yeah.
Really.
2
And-
Dresden books this year.
Two Dresden books, yeah, that's why I'm rereading them. They are urban fantasy, modern day, whatever. The early books are not great,
No, they're not.
but I think by the end the payoff is enough to warrant. a
And the
read.
world building like is a really subtle climb. Like not
Yes.
like at book 15, it's like, oh yeah, that thing and that other thing, and like it's actually like a really nice learning curve. So the first few definitely start like, okay, they're doing like just a few things. But
Yeah.
like it gets good. It gets really good.
Yeah.
I have to suggest, and I think Ian would suggest this if he was here right now, is Craft Sequence by Max Gladstone. Like, those are pretty good. I have not finished them. I've read the first 3, and they're pretty good. The magic is a lot more soft. So the magic gets to do a lot, but usually they do use it in clever ways, and you understand what's happening in the book. So you still get kind of the magic mystery, but it's definitely a much broader magic system than what Brandon has.
I'm glad you said that because I'm literally reading 3 Parts Dead, like right now, like before the podcast.
Three
started, I
Parts
was
Dead's
reading
pretty
3 Parts
good.
Dead.
I think I like the second one better, the Twin Serpent Rise one. That one's really good.
That was a good one, yeah.
I really liked that one. Also, because there's pyramids, and pyramids are just cool in fantasy. When it's like,
Yeah.
all right, let's set it on a pyramid.
I got a couple. I'll say my favorite series that I've read lately, totally unrelated, is The Expanse. I really love that. If you like sci-fi.
Yeah.
I think in the realm of fantasy, one thing I really enjoyed that's also not particularly like Brandon is Scott Lynch. Gentlemen Bastards is hilarious.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed those a lot.
One that you guys might have probably seen from Brandon's people at some point in the past is Divine Cities trilogy by Robert Jackson Bennett. Love that.
Oh.
I think it's one of the best paced.
Oh no.
It's one of
Yeah.
yeah.
It's one of the best paced.
Yeah, of course. But yeah.
Strong recommend for Divine Cities. Divine Cities took me a little bit of time to get into because it's just the world was like I couldn't connect with the world at the beginning or the characters. It all felt too foreign to me. But once I got into it, it was fantastic.
Yeah, and the Foundry Side series he's doing now has started off pretty strong as well. And I'll steal this from the fantasy subreddit, but I love the Books of Babel.
Let's try that again.
Books of Babel.
Yes, Books of Babel, Josiah Bancroft.
Oh.
Yeah.
I need to read more non-Brandon things, so this is like, I'll take a note.
I'm taking this. I want to recommend one that Brandon recommends quite highly, which is Naomi Novak's
Oh yeah.
Uprooted, and then just
okay.
her whole Temeraire series. It can get a bit funny in the middle. There's an amnesia plot line, but don't worry about it. But yeah, it's really good. I like dragons. I think it's hard not to like dragons. So yeah, I recommend those.
I want to recommend a much older thing, Isaac Asimov's Foundation. If you have not read those, look, if you're into characters, don't read those. But if you're into plot and setting, definitely read those because it's like it was written originally in the 50s, and Foundation's Edge is still one of my favorite stories. And I'll gotta be honest. The diagram is not nearly as cool as the second Foundation, and you should read those to see it done way better there, honestly. But it's really good. So read those because they're really cool. And Foundation's Edge has like 3 different viewpoints that all kind of come together. Really nice.
If you do like characters, I just finished reading First Law, and those are some fantastic characters.
Oh.
You don't like them?
I couldn't get into the plot, so I'm really not interested in anything.
I didn't care for the plot.
Yeah, I just don't.
I would not. Like, obviously, a ton of people are enjoying First Law and Abercrombie in general. They were not for me. I read the First Law trilogy, and I'm happy to have put it behind me. I don't remember anything except for the weird Inquisitor guy and the budget Conan the Barbarian.
I liked the characters and like everything I read was good, but at some point I put the book down and I had no interest reading more of it. Like there was just no direction.
There's
to
not
it
much
at
of a
all.
plot, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I talked with Will, who makes our graphics, and I was like, "Does this get better?" It's like, "No, the ending will disappoint you. Do not continue reading." I'm like, "Great, I won't," and so I didn't. I didn't.
Somebody in chat brought up something that somehow we didn't mention for whatever reason. Name of the Wind, Kingkiller.
Yeah.
I will say, so my opinion on Kingkiller is that it is by far the best prose I have ever read. Like, if you are taking this just in terms of like word craft, this is, I don't know if I would say this again, but in the past I have called Pat the modern Shakespeare. I think his prose is way, way better than anything I've read before. Plot, world, pretty okay. I think they're worth reading. But I would recommend them with a caveat. Yes, they're unfinished.
I read Name of the Wind, really liked Name of the Wind, but it took me a while to get into it. But I couldn't get into Wise Man's Fear. That was more school stuff at the start. I was just like, oh my god, this is going on so long. I thought we were doing different things in this book. And here it does. And then I put the book down. I'm like, you know what? I'll finish it when book 3 comes out. And yeah. So there we go. So hard to recommend when it's been so very long, in my opinion.
I recommend it for the prose specifically. I don't recommend it as a blanket recommendation.
Yeah. The prose is very good.
Going to be a contentious recommendation, but if you think Stormlight Archive doesn't have enough named characters,
I know what you're going to say.
Medicine Book of the Fallen.
Yeah,
Malazan. If you can't keep track of characters, you'll be lost. And like you'll have to keep open a Google tab and search for characters repeatedly. But I think personally it really pays off.
I couldn't get into the first 2 pages and I had no idea what was happening. And so I'm like, cool. And people were like, you got to read 3 books before it starts making sense. I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I really enjoyed I really enjoyed Gardens of the Moon, but I will say I do plan on reading the rest. I do have the rest on a shelf. But I did read a guide to the magic system before I read it because I heard it was impenetrable if you don't read that. I read that and it made way more sense. Everyone I really enjoyed it. So if you want to get into Malazan, I recommend doing homework first.
I guess I just don't like Dramatis Personae. And it's just like, here's a list of characters, have fun. You have no context on if you like them or not. And that just seems cheap to me. That just is dumb. I'm sorry. Like, maybe write it better. I don't know.
I read so many books with Dramatis Personae that it's weird to me that Brandon's books don't have them. I always expect them, and then I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. It gets really. Sometimes books have them, and it gets really exciting because you do know who the characters are, and you're like, oh man, that character's in this book. Oh yeah. If you had Dramatis Personae on Rhythm of War and it had Vivenna in there, you'd be like, ooh, Vivenna's going to be in this book, and it gets you pumped for it.
That's a spoiler, though. No, that's not okay. You should get that in the prose and not need an external resource for it. It
would have been a bummer to have Nightblood in that for Words of Radiance. And you're
Nightblood was in Words of Radiance. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, but
also in the chat. So sorry, someone mentioned the Poppy War in Rage of Dragons. Rage of Dragons is great. Poppy War is even better, and the whole Poppy War series, definitely recommend that. Incredible. 3rd one's coming out soon.
With Malazan, what I usually say is that if you can power through the first 80% of each book, the last 20% are worth it.
Oh yeah, that sounds really fun.
Yes,
and it's frustrating because every book you go through this journey where you're at book 9 out of 10 and you're like, okay, I must know this world by now. And you open up book 10 and the first 80% of book 10 are like, okay, well, yeah, I'm still just as lost as I was in the last 9 books. And then the last 20% are worth it. It's
That does not
a
sound
weird
like it's for
thing.
me. It is
It's
fine
weird.
if you love it, but that does not
like,
sound like it's
no.
for me.
There's like some of my favorite plotline probably is like the Chain of Dogs with like in Deadhouse Gates, I think. Like it's with
I don't
Coltane.
remember anything.
Yeah, but that was really great, I think. And like when they get together and the weird, crazy king guy was one of my favorite characters to read. So yeah,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, like,
Robbie has a good point. 75% of the knowledge we know in the Cosmere is from external resources. Well, you're not wrong. But the thing is, I still don't think you, like in Stormlight, you don't need to know those things to enjoy the books because you understand what Kaladin's doing. You understand what Shallan's doing. There's hints to greater things. You can read those books. Like I think it's fine. Some people thought Oathbringer was pretty egregious with the Cosmere stuff. I thought it was fine, honestly. Like, I really think like the soul of that book is pure Stormlight through and through, and like the other stuff is just like hints that there is more. I think that's fine. Yeah.
The only people I've talked to who have only read Stormlight never seem to have much of really a big issue with it. It's just like more mysteries about the world that there's plenty as it is. So
yeah,
it's just
a
like
mystery is the mystery. You don't know if it's a Stormlight mystery or a Cosmere mystery. It's just you don't know this thing.
And a lot of those are connected because Stormlight's so important in the Cosmere. So it's like, yeah.
Do we have any more questions that we can knock out, or do we need to do the?
I was going to say we've got 10 minutes left of this round. Shall we do who's that cosmic character?
I think we should. We did start a little bit late, but yeah, I think that would be good. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Unless you have like one more question handy that we can.
Yeah.
Because we spent a lot of time on this one.
We did.
Yeah.
We did. Chat demands who's that Cosmere character.
That's what I'm seeing.
Favorite chapter is a question
that was a
I
good
saw.
question, but yeah.
Oathbringer chapter 120. Easy.
It's a Radiance the Jewel.
33. 38.
30. Oh yeah, 38. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. Broken People. That one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
so
I think people want.
I think they do.
Yeah.
All right. So, all right. Give me. So this we would normally just transition out for everyone, but are we here?
Where are
Hey Paleo, I clicked start and nothing's happening.
really?
live
Oh, yeah,
debugging?
no. We gotta be here.
Oh god.
Yeah, I've had it open for like 2 hours, so maybe
Might have disconnected you. Like just try refresh.
I'll just
All
refresh
right.
it.
So we're doing new
Yeah.
technology. So I'm sorry.
No,
so
it works.
we're working on it.
Cool, we're in.
Reveal the overlay.
Is it the same game still?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Paleo, Argent, Joshua, Windrunner, Eric. You're all in.
Okay. All right. Wait, am I in?
Cool.
Wait, I'm not in.
Yeah, it's you are. I see Eric.
Oh, it's because the frickin' you gotta change the fave icon so it's not 17 shard. I have no idea. Like, I have no clue what.
Maybe if you didn't have 3,000
his tabs are all this small.
No, I do not have
He seizes the
3,000
tab
tabs open.
I only have 1,500.
No, I had to restart my computer yesterday, good sir, and so I only have one full window of tabs, good sir.
Are you doing okay? Are you feeling all right with that? It's just the one window?
No, actually, I had to do some Photoshop work, and I was like, man, this would be so much easier if I had my 7 Photoshop tabs that I had open to make the 6-person overlay.
This character is from Roshar.
Menace.
Tien.
Tom.
Braze.
Void in drag on a horse.
It's time for Who's That Cosmere Character? Caw.
Right, so welcome to Who's That Cosmic Character, the game show where you guys send in 5 clues and a character, and then we read off the 5 clues and character, and these nerds have to try and guess who the character is, and if they don't, they suck, and if they do, they win. Cool.
Wow, are you ready? Are you preparing to do an auction in like Kansas or something? Like, is that what you're trying to do here?
Cool.
If Chet is going to guess, I think I have to close that window because.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say because I can't.
Oh
have
yeah. I guess I gotta close chat. Okay, I'll close.
Oh,
that.
I can. I can have it on the pop out, and then I can. Pop
Yeah,
it out.
okay, all right,
I just
so-
scrolled up, so it's post. Yeah.
All right. So someone who's not us needs to moderate chat. What could go wrong?
I was gonna say I can see chat.
Oh,
Cat's back.
fantastic.
I mean,
So, clue number 1. This character is very old.
Look at this technology, by the way, guys. It's on screen. We always edit in the clues in post. That's why we're like, that's super cute.
Incredible. Oh, hey, Cat. Even noticed. Cool.
Frost.
So, yeah,
Oh, it was mine.
Yeah, I guess.
it's not Frost.
Well,
no.
I pressed the button, so
Yeah,
I pressed the button too.
Yeah, I did too. I was waiting to be called on.
Then,
Oh.
sorry, yeah, I forgot that we had the order of people. David, sorry, I forgot that was a feature. This is new.
the new technology. It's fine.
David, you click second.
Okay, fine. I will pick Uli Da.
It is
Who's
not
dead, but
Ulidar.
nice.
Number 3 is Joshua. Who are you
Vasher.
guessing? It's not Vasher. Paleo.
And Artie?
It is not Assi and Eric.
Taravangian.
And it's not Taravangian. Cool. Next clue, clue number 2.
What does it mean to be
This
very old?
character. This character is afraid of fighting.
Afraid of fighting.
What?
Whilst these guys think, I'm gonna just tell the audience we now have a system in place where the guys guessing press a button and it tells me which order will press the button, so I get to know who goes first.
Literally,
You haven't
it's
done that.
low production. Like, literally, when we usually do this, we just have the cameras on top and we just put in all the clues in post.
Yeah. Do I wait for everyone, or Joshua says he's already got a guess? Josh, are you saying?
No, I think
someone
we
in
can just
chat
go.
beat me to it, but it's Menace.
It's not Menace. Sorry,
That's
chat.
good. That's
I know
good.
I know everyone guessed Menace, but
I didn't even think of that.
I didn't think of that either, and that's bad because I say menace in the intro.
I didn't look there. I didn't look. It was my own-
You didn't, but you said
Own
it
guess.
that you got it from
No,
chat.
like I looked after. I made up my mind, and
Okay,
I guess they're
all
giving me other
See,
ideas.
I think you're getting other ideas. I think you got to close chat.
We got a cheater here.
Cheater,
Someone's trying to-
cheater.
Whoa.
he's asking the audience. Cool. Evgeni, you say you've got a guess?
I would like to guess Leras.
It is not Leras.
Oh.
Paleo.
I'm just
No.
gonna get it out of the way, Hoyt.
It is not Hoyd.
He's not afraid of fighting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he looked real afraid in Secret History.
Yeah, but
Oh, it's me. See, here's the thing, guys.
can't come up with a better guess. So
When you
I
get
don't
who's
have
that
one
Cosmere character, we cut out tons of blank space. So this is the content you get right now. Literally minutes. This is where we cut out the most, unless we have research break. Eerie Rira. Afraid of fighting. What does that
Oh, I've got
mean?
one. I've got one.
Have you already
Go
guessed?
for it.
No, I haven't guessed.
Okay.
I hit guess though.
Okay.
Yeah, just popped up for me.
I'm gonna say Calic.
It is not Calic.
Ooh,
Okay.
that's a good one.
it's a good
He
guess.
seemed kind of
yeah.
nervous in the prologue
Mm.
scene.
Yeah.
She does seem like a scaredy cat.
Did someone say cat?
Oh, all right. I have a guess.
Go for it.
Windle.
It's not Windle.
Ooh, that's
Did
a
you
good
get that
one,
from the
though.
chat?
No, I
Because
didn't. I
everyone's guessing
literally do
Windle.
not have chat open. I can screen cap all 4 of my frickin' monitors, good sir, if you want.
Cool. So, clue number 3. This character speculates about an unknown magic.
Oh, great. That's helpful.
That sounds pretty like.
What does it mean?
Specific.
What is
Wait,
unknown?
All right,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
have an idea.
Yeah,
Okay.
Eric, you hit the button first.
Axes the Collector.
It's not Axis the Collector, but that's a good guess.
I was like, Kushikesh? Sure, why not? Unknown, why not? It's related to magic.
This is so hard.
It's not. I'm just gonna guess something random. Is it Yoshi, Shalon, or Yasna's ally person that she writes to in Oathbringer?
It is not. And I just
Okay.
noticed that Joshua did press the button, but it's okay. It's okay.
Oh,
You didn't
wow.
get it anyway.
But I changed my mind.
Okay.
Well, I mean, Chris.
It's not Chris now.
This is a good one.
This one's hard.
It's always a bummer when you get it like the first one and we're like, oh, I guess we just do that then. Fine.
Chad, I hope you're enjoying feeling smarter than us if you have good ideas, but we close chat.
I
Yeah.
don't want to say too much, but I don't think anyone in chat has got it yet.
Okay.
We have like
Oh,
150 people in this chat. no one's got it yet.
You guys suck.
That makes us feel better. That makes us feel better. If Ian was here, he'd be like, yo, I got it.
He's got it on number 1. Marvin, you pressed your button.
Yeah, I can't come up with the name. Oh, what is she called?
Describe.
Like one of the Irie.
Oh.
Like maybe like
We're gonna have to be more
what's the one
specific.
who was
Oh, I know one of the names of them, but I guess I already guessed.
I remember one name.
I don't know. It's not her, but the leader woman of the Irie.
It's
Like,
not
whatever
the
her
leader
name
woman
is.
of the Irie.
Okay.
Oh.
Her name's
Alone
Alone
Ah,
Away.
right.
Right,
Alone Away.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's
Aloha.
named after a lake. Or maybe the lake's named after her.
Yeah,
And then I think
that's-
Argent, you're the only one left.
yeah, that's not shocking.
Eerie, Rira. God damn it. Ashy Isles. Leofor, Steen, Azir.
Who's afraid of fighting?
You know, we should do a game at one point on stream where we have to name where every Rosharan country is, but we need to
Oh,
surprise
that's a great
people so
idea.
they don't know where it is. So they don't know
Yeah,
when
you did
it's
a pretty
happening.
good job.
Probably
catch you up.
Okay,
Different.
how about Gliss?
It is not Gliss.
Hmm.
I also forgot to mention that this was sent in by Matt Gardner.
Excellent.
Way to go, Matt, because we're on Clue
Yeah.
4 now.
Yeah, this is good. I like this.
Clean.
I hope that the answer isn't like terrible or something. Like, does it make sense? I hope it makes sense. I'm gonna be salty.
Ben doesn't know if it makes sense.
No, he doesn't remember. He doesn't remember at all. He probably doesn't even know who this character is, to be honest.
This one I do. So, clue number 4. This character speculates about unknown technology.
Oh, for a minute I was like, we already got clue 3, but then you said
Yeah.
technology.
Okay. Oh, Vendel.
It is Vendel.
Oh,
Wow.
nice. Oh,
That was a good
nice. Nice.
Really good.
Very
stuff.
nice.
one. First live
Yeah.
stream win.
And who's Vendel, David?
He's the Khandra that appears in Bands of Mourning to explain the new Furukami metal technology potential they actually don't know about, but they'll find later.
And they're
Yeah.
like, Bands is pretty good, right? Because it's like, what do you know about identity and Cosmere stuff? I was like, I'm interested.
It's not great. It's like chapter 3. I think.
Yeah,
It's
chapter
like,
3, yeah.
It's like chapter
It's
3.
super
Here's
early.
loads of Cosmere.
Yeah, pretty much.
Can I
You
guess what the final clue is?
What do you think the final clue was?
Like
What color is his
doesn't
coat?
he change? Yeah, doesn't he change suits often or something like that?
No, he doesn't. Oh my god, no, he doesn't, and he should. He appears in 4 different suits throughout the series, and they're all different colors, and they all
Yeah.
go from darker to lighter. And Brandon says he doesn't change suits.
Maybe
It goes from
maybe
brown
it's
to
just
light
being
brown savan.
No. He does
an
change.
awakener.
Okay, no. Yeah, no, we thought he's awakener, and he's progressively bleaching his clothes to do awakening. And somebody asked Brandon, or maybe asked Brandon, I don't know. And Brandon says, "Oh no, he just appears in different suits." It is so upsetting.
Look, guys, when Brandon is asked questions, he's gonna just say a gut thing. Like, especially if you ask him like things from long ago, he does not remember. Like, I
Yeah.
just guarantee it.
Yeah, we did ask him one time like what the errors of Cell were, and he was like, "Oh, I don't know," and then he guessed, and it was like demonstrably wrong. And we're like, "Okay, that's fine." It's like to remember everything.
By the way, the eras of Cell mentioned on descriptions of jewelry. Fun fact.
Yeah, so
Deep
pretty
lore.
obscure.
Very
I want
obscure.
to quickly. I want to shout out Blessed Peace in the chat, who was the first person to get it, and I think the only person.
Oh,
I
nice,
think-
nice, good,
Yeah.
good, Ben. That's
Nice,
really
man.
good for you to do. That's really smart to do that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So yeah, the last clue was this person has shook Breeze's hand.
Oh, nice.
There you go.
Oh
was
yeah,
excellent.
right, yeah. All right,
Really
that's
nice.
a very well crafted one.
Yeah.
All right, one more.
Yep.
And then what we're gonna do,
Oh, we're doing
everyone,
another?
is we're going to take a short break while we reset the stream with our new cast members. It should be only like 10 minutes, so stay tuned. And I'm also gonna get a snack. That I'm gonna do that too.
Cool. All right, next round. So if I click end round, cool.
Yeah.
We're on this next round.
I can't wait for neither you nor Paleo to be on when Grace tries to figure this out, and Grace has no idea what's going on.
We believe in you, Grace.
We can just do more ship it or rip it.
Right.
That's not a problem.
Yeah.
I could stay on
number-
without camera.
Yeah. Clue number 1. This character comes from a modest background. Eric, you hit your button.
Menace!
First person.
Let's go.
It's not Menace. Marvin.
Is being a
Demo?
scum modest?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Demo.
It's not Demo. Josh.
We're like Scadrial.
Yeah.
Kaladin.
It is not Kaladin.
I would like
also-
to ask a question.
Uh-huh.
Go for it.
My question is, in the Dark Eyes nuns, where do you draw the line between a modest, like, because if you're like first nun, second nun, you are pretty well off. Like, you were almost up there with the Light Eyes, right?
I'm going to let you draw that line.
What is modest? What is modest? What does it mean to be modest in the Cosmere?
Okay. So the answer I am not going to give
Uh-huh.
is Liren.
What if it was the correct answer? Wouldn't that be funny?
I'm sure chat will have a field day with that.
yes, indeed.
Instead, I am going to guess somebody else.
Cool.
I had an
Good
idea
talk.
and then I forgot it.
Oh, rip.
That's fine. Whilst you guys do that, this one was sent in by Josiah Shock.
Is that your actual last name, Josiah? Because that is pretty awesome. If your last name
It's
is Shock.
S. Oh, I'm not gonna spell out too much. Don't I? Reveal the guys.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true.
Like,
I'm gonna pretend that it's like an electric shock, and it's like that's an awesome last name.
This is a Josiah Shock.
But that said, you probably pronounced it wrong if it's not spelled like that. Let's just be honest.
I have a guess.
I was gonna say Argent pressed his button first though.
Yeah.
Because he's still thinking though.
guessing,
We
yeah.
could be here all day.
No, I just pressed the button.
Oh,
Okay.
Light song.
It's not Light Song. And David, and
Silence Montaigne.
it's not Silence Montaigne.
Ooh, those
Clue
are both
number
were
2.
good guesses.
Good. This character is a leader.
Oh man, there's so many ways that this one is trying to lead us astray. I think with like main characters who lead. I think.
I'm thinking like wall guard. If there's like an intermediate, I
Mm,
don't know. Those are light eyes though, but they're the light
they're
eyes no one
tenors.
likes.
They're tenors.
Yeah.
I gotta guess.
Josh,
not a
you pressed your button.
Tolanel.
It is not Talm.
That was good.
Ooh.
Yes,
Ooh, that's a
Good
good guess. That's a good guess.
That is very nice. Yeah.
Stone Sinew, Herald of War. The Desolation's here.
Well, Herald of the Almighty.
Oh, it goes Herald of the Almighty. Sorry.
Modest and leader. And we already guessed Demu. That would have been good too. Huh.
Yeah.
Wait, didn't we guess it on the last one?
No, I think we guessed
No,
it on this
the-
one.
I guessed it for the
Yeah,
first clue.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember if Count Yondel was poor at any point or like modest, but I'm
No,
gonna
I
guess
don't think so.
Yondel.
I don't think so.
Too late.
It
I had to
is
guess something.
not Count Yondel.
Also, I don't think he's. Is he a count? I don't think he's a count.
He was a lord of some sort. It might not be a count.
Yeah,
It's been a minute. He had a private army, so
Well,
he was
that's
doing all
true.
right.
I'm actually just gonna search just for the sake of it, just to see what Eon does. Oh no, he is a count. All right,
Cool.
It's-
he is a count.
Is it Gorgs?
It's not.
Ooh, that's a
Nice.
good guess.
Oh,
That's a good guess.
can't get much more modest.
Again,
Yeah.
lots of guesses in the chat, and I don't think anyone has got it yet. But Gorks was good.
That was really good. That was
I
quality.
was just going through like, what leaders do we know? And
I'm waiting for you to call on me.
Oh, sorry. Evgeni. It's because I've got you guys over here and then the thing is all the way over there. Evgeni, you press your button.
I felt inspired by the Elantris guess, and I'm going to guess Aenden.
How
It is
screw
not
your pronunciation. Do you know who that is? Do you know who that is, Ben?
I have no idea who it is.
Yeah, sounds about right. Sounds about right.
Which one was he? I actually don't know that.
The sculptor marble guy.
That one.
Because he went by Tane,
see,
right?
I would have guessed one of the dude's
Yeah,
kids.
he went by an alias.
Yeah.
He was going by a different name when he was one of the gang leaders in Elantris.
But it's not a bad guess.
Eric, we're waiting on you.
Oh God.
It's okay, man. No pressure. Let the viewers experience the raw, unedited Shardcast experience of 10 minutes
of me just
staring
pouting.
at the wall.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, these guys know it's totally true. When I'm slowly trying. It's like more than Obama pauses. It's like it's real bad, and I just edit them all out because I'm the one editing, so I get to do that and make myself sound better.
I loved it when this one time Ian was thinking, he just turned around and looked at his books for inspiration.
I'll look at over there. You know, I think I will do that. I'll look at Jess's pictures.
Knowledge to me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good to like remind yourselves like of the books and the stories that exist out there.
While Eric is guessing or thinking, has somebody just received a message on Steam?
No.
Because that sound came through here from Steam.
Oh, did we get a Steam bloop?
I didn't hear it.
Yeah.
So that means the
That's what
stream
it
didn't
sounded
hear
like for me.
I have a message from DoorDash.
Ooh, that sounds tasty. I'm hungry.
What'd you get?
I hate you guys so much.
Hurry and use your first month welcome deal.
Oh.
Well, hurry then.
Yeah, get rid of time.
All right. Ben, what we're gonna go with is we're gonna go with Tavlakov, the slave leader.
Oh.
Not Tavlakov. Cool.
That was a good guess.
That wasn't a terrible guess.
Clue number 3.
Oh,
this
crap.
character is invested.
Crap.
Well, that's
Crap.
useful.
I want to guess one character, but I know he doesn't really fit the first clue. But I'm gonna guess him anyway. Is it Kenton?
It's not Kenton, no.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he's from a modest background for sure. Yeah.
Man, I went to go scratch the cat where she was yawning and actually just stuck my fingers in her mouth.
Well done. I'm sure she really appreciated that, Ben.
Yeah, she's still here, so she's fine.
I guess that's good.
I wonder if you would, or the questioner would, describe like Kelsier and Marsh, for example, as being from a modest background, right? Because they're half noble, but they were not raised on the nobility side of things.
I pressed guess, Ben.
I did too.
Oh, sorry. David, you pressed it first.
I'm going to guess Sigzil.
It is not Sigzil. And Eric?
Look, I'm just going to go with Kelsier. Let's just go.
It's not Kelsier.
Look, screw this. It's like, Kelsier, that's a good idea. I'm going to press guess. Let's go.
No. Sorry, Cat wanted to walk across the
Don't
keyboard.
worry, Alex's cat will probably be on stream as well. And eventually I will have 2 adorable kittens, and I'll get them Cosmere names. I wanted to name them Aona and Sky, but Brandon pronounces it as Skay, and that pronunciation's stupid. So I don't want to do that just because of that.
I've got one.
Josh.
I don't. Vin. Did anybody say Vin?
It is not
Is she
Vin.
modest?
Yeah.
I mean,
is there a point where you get below modest where you're?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
Yeah,
modest is middle class.
Yeah, it's like modest, like middle class or poor. Like what does that mean? But like it does. It does like say that you can't do like Siri or Vivenna, right?
Yeah.
It's not.
I would
Adrian,
definitely
though.
not count those.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But
It's like, well, Idris really is not that prominent.
would Susebron count? Because like he
Ooh.
That's a
That's a spicy
good-
question,
He
actually.
depends
up
who his
not in a
parents
modest
are.
background.
Yeah, but
His parents were not from a modest background.
okay.
Right?
I would like to say that I'm being corrected live by Ian.
What, Ian? Stop it! Stop it! No.
Actually, Kelsier and Marish were raised as nobles. Parentheses, though they did know the truth. Close
Right.
parentheses.
That's true. That's
Their
true.
mother had been masquerading as noblewoman.
is this called
Thanks,
backseat
Ian.
who's the cosmic character?
Ian's itching to do who's that Cosmere character. He's like
Ian
itching.
is like, why am I not there?
Ian could be in Twitch chat right now and just owning it, and Ben would give him credit anyway. Just saying, Ian.
Has somebody guessed it yet?
Evgeni, someone in chat has guessed it, yes. Couple people have.
Paleo has
Evgeny.
not yet, right?
No, he guessed
I
first.
have. Yeah, I have.
So it's just you, right, Evgeny?
It's Kenton.
Yeah, we're just
Oh,
just
you guessed
waiting
it.
on your-
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna steal the Susebron guess.
it's not Susebron.
That's good. I mean, I liked it. I liked it. It was
Cool.
good.
Next clue. This character was given a position that they didn't ask for.
Half our moderators.
Yeah. It's like half the characters, I feel. And Gorks would fit that.
Gorks would
fit that.
But he is invested. He is
not
invested.
really.
We didn't
Although Lift healed him, so technically.
Technically, what does it mean to be invested?
Everybody is a little bit invested in the Cosmere.
Yeah, you could literally
Oh,
say it's
God.
like they're on Scadrial. They have a part of preservation in them. What's up? They're invested.
Like,
Didn't ask for.
see, Kaladin like fits all of this, but I don't want to give my guess away on Kaladin. I don't think we've actually said it yet.
Argent,
I guess.
Argent's
I guess
pressed his
Kaladin.
button.
Deft.
Yeah.
Argent has. It's not Teft.
Oh, that's good.
That's a good guess.
There's so many Bridge 4 people that are like leaders now and stuff.
Hey, somebody can guess. Say said.
I guess Moash, maybe. People love Moash.
Everyone loves Moash. That's a hashtag, actually. Everyone loves Moash.
Hey, oh no, I'm actually going to guess Moash.
It's not Moash.
Because he got the
Not
whole
invested.
buyer thing at the end. He didn't ask for that.
But he's
That's
not
true.
leader,
That's true.
though.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I
And
like
he's
that.
got an honor blade.
Marvin,
Yeah.
I'm going to steal from
Marvin, you
Evgeni.
pressed your
Just
button.
gonna say it.
it's not Sazed.
Okay.
So Josh and Eric are waiting on you guys.
Wow. You
We have to
wanted
put
this unedited of just us being pained thinking.
We should put a timer when we play it live. We'll have like a minute and a half.
Oh, God.
Just keep it moving.
We've been going for like 25 minutes.
Oh yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
I got to guess.
Uh-huh.
I will say the correct answer is getting more popular in the chat.
Oh, well,
Don't look at the chat,
Yeah,
guys.
I know. We can't look at the chat. The chat's spoilers. Chat's the spoilers.
No,
This is a terrible
I
guess,
can.
but I'm gonna say Dalinar.
It's not Dalinar. So Eric, we're just waiting on
Oh,
you.
that's a very interesting guess. Yeah.
Mm.
I'm gonna
Just
pass.
Oh.
I don't
You
know.
gonna pass?
I'm passing.
So the final clue:
Okay.
this character has many regrets.
Oh, Seth.
It's not Seth.
Damn.
Oh, wrecked.
I was going to go 2 for 2.
Rip.
Oh,
Yeah, oddly enough, David, your audio quality is spectacular through all your seconds.
No, I actually moved my laptop slightly to see if I was covering the internet wire, and I think the wireless antenna, and I think I might have been. So.
Oh, well, there's the
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
So I thought we were out of clues.
No, we have one more.
And I,
Oh, no,
Are you banned?
man.
No.
and I looked at chat.
No. All right, you're out. You're out. You're disqualified. You're disqualified. You can't do that.
Disqualified.
You're disqualified.
I know.
You can actually see the clues now.
Well, no, actually, on my computer, on my laptop, where I have half the screen for Discord and half the screen for what's it only goes down to 4. Like it cuts off in the middle of clue 4.
Okay. Josh, you press your button.
Vasher.
It's not Vasher. So Eric or Marvin?
Crap.
Come on, Eric. It's your moment.
No. I'm doomed. have
I was so
no
sure about
idea.
that.
I'm so confused at what a modest background means. I'm like,
Yeah.
no.
Throw it away. Just if you don't understand it,
No.
throw it away. Don't think
No.
about it.
It's invested.
I'm sticking with Seth.
It's wrong.
I know. Occasionally, I'm proud of a guess.
I'm not gonna guess or spoil or guess anything. But if it's the character that I saw in chat that I think it is, it's a good submission.
Okay.
I am loving the chat right now. There is hashtag team one character and hashtag team another character.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, it's pretty amusing.
Are people upset with me personally for being dumb?
I mean, yeah,
People are
but not in the
used to
chat.
that.
Oh, okay. Cool. That's fair.
This is really
and Ben, both of them are good. Like both of
They're
them are
both
so
good.
good.
They're both good guesses.
Here, I'm gonna press the button and pretend that I have guessed.
Okay.
What does it mean to lead? What's a modest background? Ah!
So out of the two teams, I would have gone with the one whose first letter is
No, that's a
earlier
spoiler. That's a
than the
spoiler.
other
You can't do that. You cannot do that.
No,
You
his was
literally
good. He was safe.
He didn't
His
give it
was
away.
good.
He didn't give
Okay.
it away. Don't worry.
Well, I was too busy talking to hear it, so
Yeah,
mission accomplished.
All good.
If you were to
Many
sort the two
different-
teams alphabetically, I would have guessed the first one.
Okay, fair. All right, good. Fair.
Yeah.
Oh.
Eric, Matt says he's upset with you.
Oh, does that mean it's see, that means that it's Mistborn Era 1, probably.
Or maybe he's just upset with you in general.
That's true.
Yeah.
Ian, I'm
But-
good at WTCC. I'm in too many C's.
Somebody in chat going, "What is the regret?"
Thank you. I'm glad
What is
we're on
investiture?
brand today, guys. I
What
love
is
you all.
investiture?
Oh, this is okay. Chat is doing really good because now I can look because I've been more
Yeah.
guesses.
Now you can look. Yeah. Mhm.
Interesting.
My dog's here now. Dog's
Your
here.
cat's cuter, I must
This is,
say. I'm just saying.
This is Daisy.
Wow, your
I love
But your dog's
Oh.
pretty cute too. But I prefer the cat.
Oh,
your cat transformed. It's
Yeah.
weird now.
So your cat's a Chondra?
She
There's
is.
a lot of
Um,
Chondra in your house.
There is.
Gilfon, I already guessed theft.
Many
Marvin.
regrets.
Come on, Eric.
Ah!
Daisy, do you have a guess? Ooh.
he's got. I got a better idea than Eric.
That's true. That is
I
true.
think she
Can
wants cake.
confirm.
Yeah, she's coming for the cake. That's not for you.
Oh,
By the way,
I mean,
I've left
So was your
one
cat.
bite left of the cake. I've got one bite
Save it
left.
for me. I'll get
Yeah.
it next year.
put it in the fridge. Eric's like meditating right now.
No, I'm staring at the bookshelf. I'm staring at the books over here. And I'm like, my eyes is caught by the terrible Alcatraz covers. I'm like, no, stop, brain. Stop it. Stop it, brain.
New Alcatraz has such. I haven't read any of Alcatraz, by the way. Covers much better.
I haven't gotten the new Alcatraz ones. I really need to.
I will say I did take note of the first person in chat to
Fantastic.
guess it.
Fantastic.
So I can probably say that now, actually, since you guys are looking at chat. Left
Yeah.
I'm Born
Oh, nice.
was the first
good job.
person
Good
to get
job.
it.
Good
Is
job.
it
Well done,
spooky?
Ben. You beat these nerds.
God, I'm clueless. I
Yeah,
have
I can
literally no
Yeah,
idea.
yeah.
I have literally no freaking
Are
idea.
you guys skipping then? You
I'm
guys,
giving up. I'm
I-
giving
I
up.
passed.
In the interest of the stream
Pass.
actually moving on, like, yeah, I think we
so
gotta do it.
chat-
I have no idea.
Chat,
Doesn't-
chat
Oh.
was arguing Rashek and Alendi, and it's Alendi.
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
Okay.
That's really good. Okay, all right.
That's
No
really
complaints.
good, yeah.
Was Mistborn Era 1. All right.
Yeah.
Fine, Matt.
That was
Yeah.
a very, very good one. Well done.
Nice.
Josiah Shock
Nice.
did a good job
That
there.
makes sense. Has
Team
this-
Alendi
yeah,
won.
he has the piercings
Yeah.
of the hero, so has some investiture that's not just the latent preservation. So all right.
Yeah.
Nice, nice.
He was a
nice.
seeker too, wasn't he? That's like a weak
He
one.
was.
Or was
Oh
it
yeah,
just, or is it
yeah, right,
just
yeah,
for-
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
The seeking,
Weak
we don't
seeking.
actually know if that's from the. It's probably not from the piercings.
Yeah.
For the
I
next one,
thought
you
the piercings were like amplifying his.
I actually
was
tried to
my
look for a
understanding.
wob, but I couldn't actually find one. Honestly, I literally could not find one, but that was what I thought. So then he could hear the Well of Ascension, but like I couldn't find a wob about it. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But like it makes sense.
We'll find out. We'll find out in era 0.5 when Brennan writes it.
Yeah.
Also, I would like to point out that people were shipping Rashendi pretty hardcore in chat. So
I mean,
Yeah,
that sounds pretty good.
That.
That sounds like a pretty solid ship it or rip it. And don't you worry, we will have some ship it or rip it. So what we're gonna do, friends, is we are going to do some ship it or rip it when we switch the cast. And I don't know how we're gonna do ship it or rip it with 6 people. But we hope you enjoyed this first part. Maybe should we split the VODs into 2 pieces? I don't know. Because it's 2 different
I was
casts,
thinking about
kinda.
it. Maybe.
I don't know. We'll think about it.
Like 4 hours is really long to
Yeah,
write.
and then we can get more ad revenue.
And YouTube gets real finicky after the 2-hour mark.
Yeah. So 2 judges? That's a good idea. So what we're gonna do is we're going to switch over. Yeah.
I've got another idea for Shibboleth. Maybe 3. Oh no, it doesn't work.
Yeah, no, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Oh, no, but
Yeah,
two teams of 3 who ship or rip, and then the
chat
chat can decide who wins.
Yeah,
Oh.
That would work.
that is true. But then we would we don't have a voting system because we didn't install the bot. So we didn't actually
Then
do
we
that.
just make a quick straw poll or something like that.
Oh,
Like,
that's true. Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah.
that works.
Good call. Good call. That's good. I like it. Yeah. No. I think that's good. Straw poll. Yeah, you're totally right. So, if we split up these, did Feather message me? Oh, she literally messaged me. That's funny.
Yeah. Oh, right. I told her for modding her. I think.
Yeah. I totally did not notice at all. So, Battlestar17char.com for all your news, discussion, theories, and fun that you could ever want. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, SoundCloud, YouTube. Now we have Twitch. And if you like our stuff,
Now
you can
Twitch.
support us on Patreon. With all the links are... Actually, wait, did I even put it in the Twitch description? They should be, but they'll be in the description of the
Maybe.
VOD. Look, whatever. But they will be soon, later. And so, stream, stay tuned. We're going to take no more than 10 minutes to just get these guys out and get a bunch of other people in, okay? And so if your favorite Shardcasters weren't on, they're going to be. So we will see
But
you
first-
in just a bit. Yes?
1 second.
Uh-huh.
1 second. The last bite of the shoe. The last bite of the
Okay,
shoe.
all right, let's do it.
Glom.
Yay! Awesome.
Celtics 24, no.
Awesome. All right, so we are going to be back in a moment.